bitch. Young nigga, young nigga. Young nigga, young nigga.
Yo, what is up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck, and we are live. Draft day in Green Bay, man. Make sure y'all can hear me clearly. I got the headset on, man. But we are ready to work. How are y'all feeling, Cowboys Nation? I see everybody in the chat. Let's see what's up. Boys back, boys back. Draft Mac. I see Draft Mac. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Draft Mac, man. We take another offensive lineman. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I take Hampton over Gold, and if Mac isn't there, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. My dog, my brother DMV's in the building. So what's up, everybody? Make sure go ahead, like the content, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Is my audio good? My audio good? Y'all can hear me clear? We straight? We straight. Like I said, we on the road, man. So we're not in the studio. So we're gonna get locked and loaded, man. Lots to talk about. The energy is it's a little different here in Green Bay, to be honest with you guys, man. So I got out here since I've been at just like 10 o'clock this morning, and I'm just now able to get inside the media radio row. That's where I'm at live right now. So right here, it's a little robotic. Let's see. Hold on, let me make sure we straight. Hold up. Let's make the audios right. We gonna cook. We gonna cook. Hold on. How about now? We good now? Good. Let me know if I can crank up a little bit. Audio, is that better? What's up, CD? What's going on? What's up, sis? I see you in the building. Seeing the sis in the building. My dog angry in the building. Okay, that's much better. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, we good. So yeah, so I've been here since probably like 10 a.m. this morning. DV Coach Tuck. You know what I'm saying? I ain't coaching for nobody, man. Just out here working. Said I have a Cowboys vest. Yeah, I got the Cowboys vest on. You know what I'm saying? I sponsored up a little bit. Typically, y'all wear suits and stuff, but one good thing I didn't wear my suit because we were outside a little bit for the long and it was cold as hell. And I was like, nah. And plus, I'll be doing a lot of walking, so I wasn't going to dress cute, man. I ain't trying to be cute this draft. It's all about execute. I'm coming here to get my wide receiver and Mac and get the hell up out of here. I ain't trying to be cute today. You know what I'm saying? I did bring my suit and everything, but nah, not today. Okay, cool. Audio is good. Audio is legit. So we have to cook. All right. So yeah. So I've been out here in Green Bay. Thus far, I will tell you guys, as far as the atmosphere, it isn't as hectic as it was in past years. So I saw a lot of Packers fans, and outside of Packers fans, of course, Bears fans were sprinkled in. You also had some Vikings fans, but the second biggest fan base I saw as far was Dallas Cowboys fans. So a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans are out here. And they so the super chat peekaboo. I just put some diamonds in my chain. Hey, peekaboo. So yeah, a lot of Cowboys fans out here, and just talking to some of the Cowboys fans, They're not feeling the offensive line talk, y'all. There's a lot of people that are team weapons. A lot of people are not feeling offensive line at 12. So we're definitely going to talk about that. But like I said, guys, during the draft, go ahead and make sure y'all following so many great draft shows are going to be live. I know Vach and them are doing something at the DallasCowboys.com. I know Fitz is doing one, Law's doing one, Boss is doing one. A lot of credible content creators are going to be doing great content during the draft. I'm going to be over. So the green room is right there. So Commissioner Goodell is literally like right there. Y'all just walk right past me. Marshall Falk just walked right there. But all the player interviews and stuff will be able to be just right here. And I already set up my shop. When you go to these events, you got to set up your shop early, man. So I went and marked my territory, kind of like a dog. I went and marked my territory, got my front seat, and we cooked somebody there doing all the press conferences and stuff. And hopefully this year I will finally get to interview the Dallas Cowboys first round picks. I'm an offer. I know it's been a lot of offers. Mozzie wasn't in Kansas City, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith. You know what I'm saying? So I've been some offers. So hopefully today the Dallas Cowboys would draft. Let's make sure this Wi-Fi connection. This Wi-Fi connection is probably spotty, right? So there has been conversations. I'm lagging a little bit. Yeah, probably because of Wi-Fi. Cool. Did I miss it? I'm back. Yeah. I'm saying the Wi-Fi they give y'all at Media Row, y'all, is a little, you know what I'm saying? Dollars for stronger Wi-Fi. So we gonna work with what we got. So there's been talks today. Jane Slater had reported that there's some conversations about the Dallas Cowboys not being confident in the offensive line room and when it comes to their leadership. Now, like I said, I respect Jane. I think she does a tremendous job. Salute to Jane. But I find that kind of hard to believe, right? If you have a young Tyler Smith who's transcending right in the right direction, we know the leadership that Tyler Smith has already demonstrated coming under Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, right? So Tyler Smith has already showed some leadership capacity, and then you have Cooper Beebe, who the outstanding leader not only at Kansas State but also for the Dallas Cowboys. And then you also have Brock Hoffman, right? And then you have, Terrence Steele. So leadership concerns, I don't think that's the case, right? I really don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I don't know where Jane may have gotten that from. My dog, Professor O. But I have a hard time buying that, right? Because I feel like if there's any leadership when it comes to our team, would definitely be with our offensive line, because we got some good quality guys that will be able to kind of lead the future. And I think we're good. And I also mentioned this on Twitter, right? You think about Coach Riley coming in for K-State. Well, who is going to be the translator that he's probably going to lean on a lot for our new offensive line coach? It'll be Cooper Beebe. So I feel like we're good as far as our offensive line from a leadership perspective is. Now, I will say this, though. I think the offensive line thing may not be a full smoke screen, but I think it's a conversation that they're definitely having in the building. And this is just me. I haven't heard anything. I haven't been taking any laps or talking to anybody else here yet. I kind of down, posted up, and got live, right? I feel like if Tech goes before 12, and let's say Golden goes before 12 or something like that, or if it's between Golden and offensive line, I think offensive line would strongly come into play, right? But personally, I feel like if Mac is on the board, y'all, it's hard pressed for to say the Cowboys would pass on Mac and go offensive line at 12. So if Mac is sitting there at 12, and it's between Mac and Booker, or Mac and Kelvin Banks, or Mac and even Josh Simmons, I think Mac wins that. I think he has to win that, y'all. Now, I can't say nothing definitive, but I just think from the Cowboys' perspective, they know they need some wide receiver help. And the fact that here is what I'm kind of leaning my hat on. Got the Super Bowl hat. I'm trying to take it back to the glory days. All right. The thing that I'm leaning my hat on is even Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, they picked up the phone to call Cooper Kupp. So that's two of your offensive highest paid players saying, "Hey, Cooper Cup, come play with us." So they are already hinting that they would like to have some more weaponry. I think it's a conversation in the building, and I think that if Mac is there, it would be the pick. Now, my concern is if he's gone, and then I think that's when it's going to really open up. That's when you consider possibly the trade back or going offensive line, or do you go Matthew Golden? I know a lot of people say, well, Tuck, just draft Emeka Ibuka. I don't think they'll draft Emeka Ibuka at 12. I also don't think they will draft Luther Burton at 12, right? So I think it will really come down from the conversation standpoint of being Golden or offensive line. And then when it goes to offensive line, that opens up the floodgates, right? Depending on kind of who is there. Now, from what I'm hearing, kind of being outside, I think Membu will go top 10. I think Campbell will go top 10. And there's a possibility that Simmons could possibly go top 10 as well. So if that's the case, then you're looking at maybe the Gray Zables, right? But there was talks kind of just the hotel last night that San Francisco is kind of high on Gray Zabel, because the question when it comes to Gray Zabel, y'all, is he was a tackle at North Dakota State, but at the NFL level, he's going to be an inside guy. I know that he got snaps at the Senior Bowl center, but also at the guard position, he played some kind of reps there, but he hasn't played center. I think predominantly he's going to be an inside guy. So once again, we're going with a situation where it's going to be a convert, a guy who played on the perimeter, but we're pushing him inside. Now, when it comes to Gray Zabel as a prospect, I like his technique, right? I like him in the run game. He's a little thin framed, to be honest with you, and Lou's probably here watching, so he'll probably tell you guys a little bit more about it in depth. But, he has a thin frame. He's not really a mauler that you would want as a guard, but maybe he has the IQ as a center to really play. And I understand we did it last year with Cooper Beebe. So, if it's going to be offensive line, y'all, I'm just really standing pat on this, then I would probably say it would be Booker for me personally. I would take Booker over Gray, like hands down. You know what I'm saying? I would take Booker, and then I would strongly consider a left tackle, but I highly doubt the Cowboys are going to wash their hands with the left tackle and Tyler Guyton that they drafted just last year. I think their ego won't allow them to do it. So good question. Good question, TJ. Does Zabel really give you much more than Hoffman, though? Probably not. Not as a rookie. Probably not as a rookie. He's a little bit more slender, a little bit more athletic, but Hoffman has that dog mentality. We know what Hoffman is, even though some might say he's limited. I do think he's limited in some capacity, but I feel like Brock Hoffman is suitable enough, right? For me personally. So I'd be able to say, oh, Gray Zabel was a massive upgrade over Brock Hoffman. More than likely not. It would probably be a situation kind of like Tyler Smith was, y'all. Y'all remember when Tyler Smith first came in and he was more of a rotational guy, and then he has some injuries, kind of worked his way in. It wouldn't be a situation, I think, where boom, Gray is the starting right guard, and he just gets that over Brock Hoffman, because Brock Hoffman has too tough. He's tough as nails. He's not going to go out like that. There is going to be some battle. Tyler Booker paired with BB is a very solid combination. I agree. And I will say this, y'all. I see all the talks online. You know what I'm saying? I see my dog DMV. I see Rome. I see him. I see the list goes on and on. Team trenches versus team weapons. I'm saying this. If I'm sitting here and I see the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, I'm going to be like, okay, right? But where are we going? I'm going to need to see where we are going. And tomorrow is going to be even more important, right? Because if you go Tyler Booker and you go with the Quinshon Judkins, or, you go with one of these power runners, in the second round, I can say, okay, the Dallas Cowboys really want to strengthen their run game, right? But if they go like Tyler Booker and then they might go corner or something and then maybe edge, then I'm going to be looking very side-eyed at Will McClendon's draft. I'm going to be full transparent with y'all. Let's see here. So I've been afraid to see if they draft Zabel or Booker. It's been a fun ride. Call him out. Hey, no, hey, man. Hey, no. Oh, you stuck with us, bro. You ain't going nowhere. Oh, going to put his letter or resignation out there and be like, nah, he going. We going to Kansas City. Come over to Kansas City, man. Enjoy the good life. Um, but no, so I would have to actually see where we're going with it, right? So it's not going to be a situation where it's like, oh, this pick is trash, and I'm not going to pull a full Henny. I'm not going to pull a full Henny. Henny says retiring the trash offensive line. I'm gonna scratch my head a little bit. But I really want to see day two what they pair this with. I see got my dog DMV, bro. DMV, I'm gonna try this, bro. Let me make sure I can hear you in my headset. Let me see here, bro. Go ahead, DMV, so I can hear you, dog.
What's up, man? I'm in the barber shop right
Let me
now.
see,
I
bro.
just figured I'd pop in real fast. Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear DMV? I can't hear him. Hold on. Hold on. Something's up.
Let me go sit in the chair real fast.
Hold on, DMV. I'm gonna try to get my audio.
Okay.
And not, bro, I might kick you out, man, and run the show solo because for some reason the audio is not coming through my headset.
Oh,
Let me see. Let me try this though. Let me try this.
shoot, I went over by the. See if I can get more
Let
light.
me try this. Hold up, give me 1 second, bro. Let me try something. All right. Let me see. Now talk DMV.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
All right. Yeah, we're good. All right. Got you. All right. So y'all can hear DMV. We rocking. All right. Cool. All right. What's going on with you, dog, man?
Man, oh look, chilling at the barber shop. I had to bring my youngest here because all the funeral cuts and stuff like that. So he
Right.
said, "Yeah, I saw you shot us the link." So I was just like, "Yeah, I gotta do my very last best chance to say no to O line at 12, dog. No to
All
O
right,
line.
man. All right, bro. Go ahead and state your case. Why know the O line, dog? Because and we got people. And honestly, it's picking up steam. To be honest with you.
Uh, because if we draft O line now, they'll just find a way to be upset about something next year, and we'll just keep drafting O line, keep drafting O line. I think it's the lazy thing to do. I mean, and
Hmm.
quite frankly, though, we need some juice. O line doesn't necessarily add juice to what we need right now. The fan base
Right.
needs juice. The team needs juice. Um, we need people that to be able to score touchdowns and stop touchdowns. I mean,
Right.
offensive line doesn't necessarily guarantee that they're going to hit the ground running, especially the guy they talking about, Gray Zabel,
Hmm.
North
Hmm.
Dakota State. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we
Right.
talking about?
Yeah, and that's my one thing, y'all. Even if you're talking team weapons versus team trenches, if I had to prioritize a trench, I'm prioritizing the defensive line. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't stop a nosebleed last year. So I would more prioritize that personally over offensive line. And I get it. A lot of people have this allure when it comes to offensive line because they saw it happen in the Super Bowl to Kansas City. But let's not mistake it. Kansas City slide entire NFL before the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they had a makeshift offensive line, but they were perfectly fine, right? So you can scheme properly. You can have the skill positions. You can have certain to get the ball out quicker. You can do a lot of different things to overcome offensive line if you feel like it's lacking. Or here's a fun fact: you can still go out there and buy some free agent and get some acquisitions. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like I feel like if we go offensive line at 12, right? It's saying that the Cowboys are really just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
Just hoping something sticks. And that shows what we've been doing free agency with all this Sadiq Charles, not Sadiq Charles, all these other acquisitions that we've been bringing in.
I also feel like it shows that the front office doesn't know what they're doing. If we have to keep going to get offensive line, and that's when you've been building this entire time. You've been at offensive line since 2009. It's
Right.
that we don't know what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. And it's like I said, how much resources are you going to put? Whether that's Austin Richards, whether that's 2 first-round picks in Tyler Guyton, Todd Smith, a third-round pick into Cooper Beebe. You also gave a fifth-round pick to Matt Walesko. And then it was Josh Ball. He was like 6 or something like that. You also had Josh Ball. Right. And then you went and got TJ Bass. You paid Terrence Steele. You just paid Brock Hoffman, who was a UDFA, and brought him back. Like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we just done enough at offensive line. And if you can't develop them, then that's a problem with you and your coaching staff. You don't need to have an entire offensive line full of first round picks.
That part.
Nate Thomas, another seventh rounder. Like, they had my dude Earl Bostic out of Kansas. They brought in what, 3 free agents for offensive line. So what are we doing? So yeah, so it's just one of those things. I feel like we put enough of our resources in the offensive line. It's time to coach those guys up. And you went and got a brand new offensive line coach, Coach Riley. Let's see what magic is all about. So, me personally, I'm not going to be a fan of it. I'm not going to flip the table over.
I
But
am.
I know you probably gonna flip the table. I know O gonna flip the table over. I know Henny gonna flip the table over. You know, Dane Bruler hit it on as a Cowboys insider. So I mean, it could be picking up steam, and I feel like there could be possibly a divide, right? There's the same divide that we are having among Cowboys fans. They're probably having amongst the organizations. You know what I'm saying? There's probably a team trenches versus team weapons inside that war room, and it's going to be up to see whoever wins. But it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays back. Now, outside of that DMV, when it comes to offensive line versus wide receiver, I was saying that if Mac is there, I feel like Mac is you know what I'm saying, the slam dunk. You got to go. You can't pass up on them. But if it comes down to Golden versus Mac, not what we would do, what do you think the Cowboys lean towards?
I think they're gonna go Mac over Golden. From what I understand, I think Mac is higher
No,
on their board.
I'm saying if Mac is in there, if it's Golden between the offensive line, right? If Mac is gone, right? If
Okay,
Mac gets sniped, yeah,
I think they go Golden. I think they're gonna go
they'll go
Golden.
Golden.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think Golden's probably higher on their board, in my opinion. But it makes a lot more sense, and I think that they would sell a lot more jerseys.
Yeah,
I think that they're gonna go Golden.
yeah, and I think, I mean, I hate to bring that into the scope, but it's the Dallas Cowboys, and we do it all the damn time, right? I think the Dallas Cowboys need a new player that they can market because the the overall excitement for the season has been low. A lot of people I know, self-included, has given up their seasons or season tickets. We know camp last year attendance was low, even though they tried to lie to us, right? And there's been no excitement. There's been no spark when it comes to Dallas Cowboys football. Even if it's Matthew Golden, it's a new wide receiver. It's Texas blood, University of Texas. So you're going to get that. Is Houston. You're going to get that. And it gives us the chance to create some excitement, maybe find a spark when it comes to our offense. I think that's just too hard to pass up on. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm leaning towards wide receiver. Like I'll be leaning towards wide receiver. I know Jerry says he doesn't make the calls or he doesn't make the picks. Okay, cool, bro. Cool story at the podium. But I feel like they're going to go. I feel like they have to, bro. I feel like this has to be the conversation in house.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and this is Shotty's first pick too. And I think you got to try and win over the fan base. I mean, first and foremost, you got to win games. First and foremost, you got to win games, but you definitely have to win the fan base over as well. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? You don't want your first pick to be a stinker, bro. You do not
right,
want your first pick to be somebody that everybody boos. Like if you think about Washington, you think about Dan Quinn. Like everybody kept trying to figure out, all right, are they going Drake May or are they going? And they said, nah, we gonna add the juice. We gonna
right,
add the juice to the franchise. We ain't even gonna play around with it. I think
right,
we shouldn't play around with it. We're at 12 right now. We're at 12 for a reason. So while you're at 12 and you talked about not being there or planning on being there next year, you got to add the players that's gonna make it to where you're not here.
right.
Offensive line
Yeah,
has proven that it doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be in this spot again.
right. Exactly. Exactly. And I just feel like, yeah, it's just the way that they handled the offseason. They can't afford to miss this draft, right? They cannot afford to miss this draft. And I feel like you got to get some guys out there that are going to be instant impact, but not only instant impact that has the big opportunity to move the needle. And I feel like running back, this class can do it day one. I feel like wide receiver can do it day one. And I wouldn't be shocked, but I would kind of be all right if they went corner because I think a lot of people are forgetting, right? Yes, Trayvon Diggs is probably going to start on pup. Yes, we have Deron Bland, who didn't look the same after his foot injury. We just traded for Kyer Elam, right? We also have Izzy McComu. You could say that Kalen Carson could possibly not be damaged goods and could take a lead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if they went with like a Will Johnson, I do feel like outside of Travis Hunter, Will Johnson is like my number 2 corner. But I still feel like 12 is too rich for corner. The only other position I think defensively, what I would understand it, would possibly be defensive tackle. But I'm not sure they're going to be high on anyone, whether that's a Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan. They won't even take Harmon. I don't think they're going to be that high that they would want to take one of those players at 12. So I feel like we're really going to come down to the offensive side of the ball, and it's going to be wide receiver, offensive line. I know selfishly a lot of us wanted running back, but I don't think running back's going to be in play.
I don't either, and it's gonna be sad to see tonight when that run on running backs hits. But it's gonna start, and it's going. But we might end the night to where they might have to trade back up in the first round. But I don't know. I mean, I would be aggressive depending on how it goes, but we'll see what Dallas does.
So it's a game time, bro. It says James here. Oh, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. No, we're not gonna put that up there. You know what I'm saying?
Offensive
So
line, unless it's a left tackle or ed. I mean, offensive line, unless it's left tackle. Like if we were talking left tackle, that'd be completely different. If we were talking Simmons, to me, I think that's a discussion to have. But
right.
having an edge or offensive lineman outside of a left tackle that's ready to go right now is just asinine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
I,
agree. I agree. I
or
agree.
else, why did you go sign Fowler? Why did you go sign him? If you knew
Right.
that you were above it, you could go and get an edge because we were in
Right.
premium to get an edge. We can get any edge for the most part that we want to get. Besides Abdul Carter, we can get any edge we want to get at 12.
Oh, this was a good ass question. It's a goobie for this one. Who makes a bigger difference at 12, Hampton or Golden?
Hampton, Hampton,
Hampton. Yeah. Yeah.
Hampton.
Hampton.
It's
Hampton.
just that
My
running
dog
back,
DMV.
but Hampton.
Cowboys talking to the Jets.
If
Okay.
you're talking to the Jets, they trying to move up for Genty.
Yeah, that's Genty territory. Oh, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. My dog Rome said he's on his way, man. It's like I said, we're gonna be shooting here pretty much till with draft starts at 7, so probably about another 2 hours, 3 hours. So y'all get comfortable, man. My dog JC, bro. JC, let me shoot you the link. Let me shoot you all the links. Let me just make sure. Let me see here. Shoot y'all the links if y'all want to pull up, man. It said, finally got in here, man. It's all Jason said. What are y'all drinking tonight, man? I'm not drinking, bro. Like, which is crazy. I'm not. I won't say it's crazy, but it's like in Green Bay, bro. They do a lot of drinking. Everything is drinking. And it's like, and the cool part about this area, like Lambeau, it's more like a college feel. You know, like there's a lot of like little bars around Lambeau, houses. We can park at houses. You know, it kind of reminds me of going to like a college game. Which is low key cool. So it's been a cool town, and I kind of like it down here. And they've been telling me like, "Yo, you need to come for a game because like it's packed. Like you can't even get in this bar if it was game day." So let's see here. Let's see here where you at. Oh, there you go. All right. So I'm shooting the links out to y'all if y'all want to roll. All right, cool. All right, so moving up with the Jets. Okay, cool. So let's talk about it. If the Dallas Cowboys were to move up for nah, Chris, I'm not even putting down the Jumbotron, bro. Not even putting down the Jumbotron. So yeah, so if we move up with the Jets, that opens up a lot of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That opens up a lot of opportunities. Let me make sure I got it right here. What will we give up to move with the Jets? Let's see here. Let's see here. Move up with the Jets.
Probably have to
What
give
picks?
up. Probably have to give up 44.
Yeah, 44.
It's
So would
probably
it be?
something.
So who would be worth it? Who would you say would be worth it to do that for? Would it have to be Genty?
It would have to be Genty or Travis Hunter.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Hunter gone.
Yeah, Hunter will be gone, but I'm just saying those are the only two that's worth that.
Worth it. Yeah. There's gonna be some colorful chart people on Twitter that would lose their shit. But yeah, if we trade up from 12 to 7.
But can we
But see, I think
can we be 100 Tuck? The colorful chart people, they ain't spending money. They're not
right.
spending the money to go to the games or spending the money on
I
gear and all that type of stuff. They're just
y'all
color
know.
chart people that want to be right. Keep it
Yeah.
100. So I
Yeah.
think some of the time, like Jerry's right. You got to listen to the fan base too, but you got to listen
Right.
to the fan base. But I mean, a lot of these people who got these charts, man, they're in this business for that reason, keeping it a buck.
So someone says Brees Hall. So Game Time Brian says no, Brees Hall to the Cowboys. Oh, so not the pick, actually Brees Hall. I like Brees Hall. That's my guy. He's from my hometown, Wichita. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. No, sir.
I think that's lazy. I think it's lazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
do it,
would.
bro. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would not trade for Brees Hall. Not with this draft class. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, sir. I mean, why would I trade for Brees Hall when I can go get RJ Harvey in the third? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
So
agree.
for me,
I would prefer doing that than getting
right,
Brees Hall.
right, right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I think not. This is no knock versus Brees Hall, but not with this draft class. I'm not doing that. I get it. It's a name, but there's no way you can convince me that trading for Brees Hall where you can go get RJ Harvey or list goes on with all the running backs we talk about, DJ Gittens, Damian Martinez, Devin Neal. Like, nah, 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 nah. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. So it's okay, Henny. We are not in move up talks with the Jets. It's just, I guess, for Brees Hall possibly. All right. The talks, yeah. So no, I would scratch that out 1,000%. I would scratch it out 1,000%. I was thinking about moving up. I was thinking
Yeah,
about moving up. I
that's
was thinking about
that's
moving to Seth.
conversation
You
I'm
know what
having
I'm
with the
saying?
Jets. I ain't having no conversation about no damn Brees Hall.
Yeah,
What you
I
talking
know. Yeah.
Not to
Yeah,
sound like
yeah,
Big Game James. That's how Big Game James would say it, but I ain't talking about no damn Brees Hall.
yeah. I ain't doing about no Brees Hall. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had me hype for a second. I'm looking on Twitter like we about to trade to Seth. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Like, nah, not for no Brees Hall, bro. Nah. But that seems like something the Jets would rob us for. You know what I'm saying? Rob us for a 5th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick for Brees Hall because it's a name. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. Like I said, not with this draft class. But speaking of trading up, there has been conversations about Carolina. I think a lot of people feel like if we really want Mac, which I think a lot of us Cowboys fans really do, that Carolina poses the biggest threat. So would you consider leaping them to go get Mac, or would you be cool selling with Golden? I think me personally, I'm cool selling
I
with
chill.
Golden.
I would chill and stay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, guys, to be honest with you, there's only 2 players. I'm not saying that really matter. I'll possibly move up for. I would move up for Genty, and if Mason Graham was to fall, I would strongly kind of consider it. You know what I'm saying? I would consider it for Graham. I would consider it for Genty. Outside of that, I'm probably chilling. Because if we lose Mac, I know a lot of Cowboys fans will be but if we got Golden, I'll be perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? And be perfectly fine if we get Matthew Golden.
So
With
let me
that.
ask you a
So
question about Graham. So what about Graham would make you trade up? And the reason I ask that is we just signed Osa to a huge deal, and I think Graham's more of a 3. So
yeah.
would you start him at the 1? Like, just your thoughts.
I'll rotate him. I'll rotate him because I feel like Mason Graham can also play a little edge as well, even though it's not as disruptive. So I feel like Mason Graham gives you kind of that versatility. So if you want creativity, but also just want more fire, you know what I'm saying? You could go out there with Mason Graham and put it out there. So you could slide Osa and slide Mason Graham out. Kind of like that Chauncey Golston role, right? I feel like you can kind of get that from Mason Graham. I know there's a lot of concern about his, arm size and whatnot and his weight, but I feel like you kind of get that versatility from Mason Graham. And rotate it that way. You're gonna need me. Osa's not gonna. We all know the Osa thing, right? Osa starts off hot and he kind of fades out. I think that's probably the reason why, because we don't have a lot in that rotation. So it would be nice to kind of have Mason Graham and Osa alongside of that, especially on 3rd down, getting field, interior pass rush. That will only help this defense under Matt Eberflus. So Cowboys not a fan of Graham per Broadus. Guess what's up? Let's see. Trading back for Amari and Hampton is the move. Now, trade back, right? So team trade back. I feel like when it comes to team trade back, to be honest with you guys, how far is important, right? How far is important? We're sitting there at 12. I know people are saying, oh, well, the Steelers would come up to maybe 12 to get Shador. I probably don't think so. I would probably cap it where 18 would probably be the furthest I would probably trade back, y'all. To be honest with y'all. Chris, man, you tripping, bro. We got Mozzie. Yeah, we do. People saw Mozzie pumping gas and got excited, man. That's how Cowboys fans are just foaming at the mouth to get some type of excitement. We saw Mozzie at the gas station and felt like Mozzie was back. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you ain't seen Mozzie push a sled. You ain't seen Mozzie take on a double team. You ain't seen none of that. You just saw the man at the gas station in a wife beater, and that's all it took for Cowboys fans to be like, Mozzie's bouncing back. Like, hell no. But yeah, so as far as the trade back is concerned, what would be the cap as far as that's too far? You know what I'm saying? We're not trading back that far. And salute to everyone who's watching the show right now. We got 1,000 people watching, man. Y'all like, subscribe, and comment, man, as we go up for this NFL draft coverage live in Green Bay. We're on Radio Row. You can't, like I said, Commissioner Cadell keeps walking past me. I want to yell Zeke and throw something at him. You know what I'm saying? It's like Zeke, you know. So yeah, how far would you consider trading back, bro?
I can't trade back behind the Chargers. I can't trade back behind the Chargers. It's got to be about 18, 19, something like that.
Yeah, so Chargers are 22.
I got to be
So
about 18, 19. It's got to be a little bit of cushion to where they have to give something up to leave me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah, and so who do you think they're looking for, running back, right? So would it be for the Hampton protection? Because I hear the Chargers are high on Henderson. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a situation where a lot of us are saying Hampton, but it could be Henderson to be the second running back off the board. And if Henderson's the second running back off the board and Jackson Dart is the second quarterback off the board, I'm gonna lose some money in my FanDuel account, y'all, because I put big on this. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say but that Jackson Dart has slid up to be the second favorite draft. I'm not sure who's going to go, but I think some people said 20 with Denver. 20s are too far. I agree. 20s are too far. Can you hear me, DMV, still?
Yeah, I can hear you. It cut out a little bit, but then it got to the part where you said 20s is too far.
20 is too far. Yeah, 20 is too far. I think around 18, 19 to Tampa. I think that's the cap for me personally.
And we got to hope that they want to come up and there's somebody that they want to grab. Like, hopefully it's an edge. We need somebody that want an edge real bad.
Right. Right.
That's probably where we are.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just don't think what would be the edge that someone will be foaming in the mouth at 12. So you probably have Stewart, maybe. You would
Michael,
have
or do you think he'll be gone?
You could possibly be a Michael Williams, Mike Green, but I think Michael Williams might go second after Jalen Walker goes, or third after Jalen Walker goes if you count Abdul Carter. So I think Michael Williams might go top 10. So then you're probably looking at Smar Stewart, Mike Green, and maybe Pierce. And
Yeah,
so
because there might be a run on edges. We need a run on edges. If there's a run on edges, that's great for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's even
Yeah,
better.
and that's what we really need, right? If there's any position that there could be a run on, it probably would be edge, because you're not going to get one at quarterback, of course. You're not going to get one at corner. So those are team premium positions. They also could be offensive line, right? Offensive line, there could be a run. So if you went Campbell, Mimbu, Gray, Simmons, it could be something like that. But yeah, I think we do need to run, right? Because I don't think there's going to be anything too enticing where someone's like, oh, I'm going to give up the haul to come to Dallas to get 12, because even when Philly did it with us, right, that was just for the simple fact that it was Smitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a crazy run. It's just like, we could trade back. They wanted Smitty, but it wasn't nothing too crazy that teams felt like they had to have, says he doesn't. Oh, Henry says he doesn't like Michael Williams at all. I mean, he's decent, bro. He has some upside potential. I think the same thing when it comes to Mark Stewart. They already got the assets. Let's have it moved
up. It's not about what we think. It's about what other teams think.
Yeah. The we think, y'all, that's long gone. Them days is gone. You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, oh, Tuck, what do you think I'm like, bro, what I would do with Luther Bird is completely different than what's the reality is about to probably happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably where I'm at. So I know I'm probably the minority, but I prefer wide receiver, but I won't bet an eye if we took Hampton at 12. Not true. You're not a minority. You're majority. You know what I'm saying? You're more the
Facts.
majority that wants a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Um, if they took running back over wide receiver, I wouldn't really be appalled because, like I said, if you tell me who gets more upside potential and have more instant impact over Hampton versus Golden, I would say Hampton 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10. What's up, little man? You know what I'm saying? Getting the haircuts, man, getting them clean cuts. You know what I'm saying? Getting the clean cut a star in the back of their head, man. Uh Let's see here. You're right. I just got production going that high. Michael Williams don't got a pass rush back. Dan sure we'll take Green over them. Yeah, I like Mike Green. I'm not sure if the thing with Mike Green ever cleared up. I know there was some stuff combine wise, about some off the field stuff. I'm not sure if they ever cleaned up. I know there was some stuff also about James Pierce as well. But it didn't get too loud. It didn't get too loud. My dog's in city, so I'm team weapon. Team weapons, y'all. It's now or never. You know what I'm saying? It's now or never, man. It's
Hey,
right, man.
they put the scope on Lou yesterday, bro.
They put
Hey,
the
they
scope
out
on
here.
Lou, man. They put the scope on Lou, man. Hey, team weapons today. We have to stand firm. We have to stand firm, y'all. I just hope. I just hope it's weapons. You know what I'm saying? I just hope. I just hope. I just think that's what we need, y'all. I really just think that's what we need. I think there are some phenomenal defensive talents. I do think there's some good offensive line talents, but I just think for what this Cowboys team needs, because we didn't do what we needed to do, it has to be a needle mover. And I think that Chet would be a needle mover. Don't give up. Don't give up on us, bro. Don't fight. You got to fight, bro. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on us, wrong. Got to keep fighting, bro. Don't put that
Yeah,
energy
bro.
in the
Yeah,
air.
we need the Hulk to come out, bro. We need the Hulk wrong, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't need the lab geek with the color charts. We need the Hulk
The
wrong.
Yeah, we need the heart, man. We need the heart. I need Henny's live reaction if we get Tet, man. Like I said, man, if we draft Tet, man, I'm gonna have to go outside real quick. You know what I'm saying? They don't kick me out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Somebody would want to try for Jalen Walker or Jody Barron. Remember, it's all about system fits. You can never be surprised. Everybody thinks different about their systems. Yeah, and I think Jody Barron's are interesting, but I just don't know how high form. Because even if you go back to last year with Quinyon Mitchell, Quinyon Mitchell went outside top 15. So, could I say that any of these corners outside Tyler or Travis Hunter are better than Quinyon Mitchell? Probably not. So you could see a late push on corner. And I think what's going to happen with corner, you're going to see a late push, and it might be a run, right? So it might be Jade, then it might be Will Johnson, then it might be Chevelle, Harrison. It's gonna be, but I think they're gonna be a little bit patient when it comes to corner. Tyler Booker is getting drafted over Zabel. Yeah, I can see it, man. My dog, Big Game James, bro. What's up, dog? Yo, Big, I'm gonna send you the link, bro, if you want to jump in, dog. So it's a Big Game James, bro. I see Big Game James. My dog was on some Kool-Aid the other day, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's see Big Game James late. You know what I'm saying? Dog Big got some Kool-Aid cups, man. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. We all looking to be excited. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Let's see. It's in the law, dude. All right. So let me see. Make sure I ain't miss nobody. All
Yeah,
right,
bro. I
cool.
stuck out of here, bro.
All right, dog. Well, hey, before I get you going, bro, put you on the spot. Dallas Cowboys are up. Pick 12. Who we got?
Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden, University of Texas. All right, dog. Sure, I'll holler at you in a little bit, dog. All right. It's my dog DMV. Definitely give DMV a follow. Matthew Golden is his pick. Right, I can see Barron going before Will Johnson. Yeah, I feel like yeah, you could see a run on corners that'll probably be late, right? I feel like once it happens, it's gonna happen quick. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen quick. Yeah, unfortunately, we need him. What's up, Tub CDV? Okay. What's up, sis? Yeah, so like I said, y'all, if we go offensive line, I know it's gonna hurt. I know y'all gonna be mad. I know y'all gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? I just know, team weapons versus team trenches. It's gonna be a dang shootout online. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta go. But I really just feel like if they do go offensive line, one thing I really want to see is who are they gonna pair that with? Right? Who are they gonna pair that with? And then we'll judge. Because like I said, if they get Tyler Booker, all right, damn, sucks, trash, horrible. I hate the Cowboys, done, whatever, right? But then they go get Quinshawn Judkins. Then it's like, okay, they really want to be physical. They want to try to run the ball, and maybe some of the stuff that they've been saying all offseason, they truly meant. And see, this is what I'm saying, David. Like, it's these things that we could have done to simply fix our team before we got to today that we didn't do. I mean, we just saw Tyler Lockett go yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, Brian Schottenheimer, you got some ties to Tyler Lockett. Like, you could have went and got Tyler Lockett, and then we could have relaxed a little bit today when it comes to wide receiver. Or you can go get a Will Hernandez. You can relax a little bit when it comes to guard. But the thing is, I just don't understand their mentality. I don't understand their philosophy when it comes to some of these things, when it comes to the Cowboys' focus point. Um, so yeah, I just really don't understand it. Kelvin Banks, or I don't want it. I think Kelvin Banks will be on the Cowboys' radar. And I like Kelvin Banks as a tackle, but I think Kelvin Banks might go a little early, right? So I think that's going to be the key, right? If I had to age it, got Will Campbell to the Patriots. And then outside of that, it's like Mimbu, Kelvin Banks, Josh Simmons, the medicals, which we don't know. And then it can get quirky, especially with Gray Zabel. Let's see here. How many quarterbacks will go before our pick? Let's say one. I think Cam Ward, and then we're going to chill unless the Saints throw a curveball and go Jackson Dart. That could be the curveball. But I don't see any other team that's going to go with quarterback, right? You got Tennessee. Cleveland might do it, even though I think that they should possibly. The Giants probably won't, even though I think they should. And then it's the Patriots, no. Jags, no. Raiders, no. Jets, no. Panthers, no. Saints, possibly. Bears, no. 49ers, no. Cowboys, no, right? So I think, once we get past the New York Giants, if they don't take Shador, I think that opens up floodgates until you get to 9 when you talk about the Saints possibly. Maybe Kellen wants to get his quarterback. I told you guys before when it comes to Shador, like I feel like Shador is a good quarterback, but he's just not fitting the mold, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he's just a bare bones, good IQ, tough as nails quarterback, but it's not attractive when you're sitting comparing that to a Jaden Daniels or a Jalen Hurts or a Pat Mahomes or a Caleb Williams or a Josh Allen or even Cam Ward, those types of players that can improvise and throw off platform and just make things happen. I don't think Cam Ward I'm sorry, I don't think Shador Sanders is a full eraser. I don't think erasing what I mean by erasers means a guy that if you have a bunch of problems, they can overcome that. He can overcome that. Right? Like if you put him in the proper system, he can turn up. Like I was kind of saying it jokingly, but if I was San Francisco and I'm looking to move on from Purdy, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he could run that system. He could run that system, but I doubt they do it. So it's going to have to be a coach that really just wants him to protect him, right? He's not a type of player where he has to do everything. You can rely on him to do everything and just erase it and make things happen, right? Like Josh Allen, you can have a game where the wide receivers aren't playing well or the running backs are not playing well, but Josh Allen just erases all that offensive line protection. I don't think that's Shador, and I think that's why he doesn't have attraction. But, I understand if you put Shador in the draft classes, especially last year, he might be a 4th or 5th round pick. But there are times where a lot of quarterbacks, or just players in general, they benefit from being in a lethargic draft. it's not Shador's fault that he's coming out this year's class, and there's not a lot of good quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So it's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, he would have probably been, maybe fourth round, maybe third. You know what I'm saying? At the most. But it's really Kim Ward and Shador. And if you want to toss Jackson Dart in there, I think the most hilarious thing about Jackson Dart is that they're comparing him to Jalen Hurts. I'm like, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? I think Jackson Dart may have mentioned that in the interview, but I'm like, where's all this Jackson Dart and Jalen Hurts comps coming from? It's kind of like everyone was comping every running back to DeMarco Murray. You know what I'm saying? It's DeMarco Murray. So let's see here. People on my Instagram's like, yo, Tuck, if you're about to call offensive line, we need to run on stage and grab the car. Y'all want to run on stage and grab the car? Like, nope. Actually, there's been a trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to redo. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. So yeah. So, all right. So we are vibing. So, like I said, we are on Radio Row live at the NFL Draft. So go ahead, comment, like. Just pre-draft noise, Tucky. I think we got a lot of pre-draft noise. I think we've seen a lot of it this year. You know what I'm saying? I think we're getting a lot of it this year. My sis says, get this draft freaking over and keep your eyes on the road. You know what I'm saying? She's ready to be over with the NFL draft. She's tired of all the mocks. She's tired of all the conversations. I know people do draft fatigue, right? But I see a lot of people get mad at us. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you guys are just doing a bunch of mocks. All right, you want us to talk about Micah Parsons' contract that's not happening every day? You know what I'm saying? You want us to talk, like, what do you want us to talk about? Like, I like talking draft content. A lot of us love talking draft content. Is what I do. So it's just what it is. The Saints extended Chris Olave, but not one of their offensive linemen, and Trevor Penning, right? Maybe taking one of those offensive linemen off the board earlier. Saw that report on that. Yeah, you're right. Right. So I think if I had to pinpoint the Saints pick, I would probably say they would go offensive line, unless Kellen just sees something that he likes in Dart or Shador. You see what I'm saying? But I think once they decided not to re-sign Penning, because I think the offensive line comes into play. You have offensive line comes into play. I'd probably say for the Patriots, I'd probably say 7 for the Jets, possibly. You could see it again at 10, and 4 for the Patriots, 7 for the Jets, 9 for the Saints. Chicago could consider it possibly, and then also San Francisco. Yeah, and I think that's the tricky part too, is what's going to happen with tight end. Like, there's going to be somebody that is going to throw a wrench. There's going to be someone that's going to throw a grenade in the middle of this draft, right? They're going to throw a grenade in the middle of this draft. That's going to disrupt everything, and that's where the fun's going to begin. I feel like once we get after 4, that's when we all get in the prayer circle and just start praying. You know what I'm saying? Just praying. My dog Rome, how do you feel about a Breece Hall trade? Me personally, Rome, I mentioned this. I wouldn't like it. I feel like with this running back class, we wouldn't need to trade for Breece Hall, right? I feel like if you gave up a 3rd round pick for Breece Hall, and that could be RJ Harvey or whoever, it's the same thing. Like, unless you're getting something back in return for it, possibly just to take it off. But why would you sign Breece Hall, who is gearing up for a contract, and trade for Breece Hall's gearing up for a contract, when I know Stephen Budget Jones like to have players play for the low? Go get one of these rookie running backs and run them into the mud for 4 years for the low. So it doesn't make sense for Breece Hall. I get it's a name to get Cowboys start the I like Breece Hall. He's from Wichita, even though he went to my ops in Northwest. But me personally, I would not trade for a running back that I'm going to turn around and pay, who's coming off an injury, where this is one of the most loaded running back classes, I would say, some people would say possibly in NFL history. It just wouldn't be worth it to me. Yeah, Rum. You have to turn around and pay him. You know what I'm saying? You have to trade for him, give up trade capital to get him, and then turn around and pay him. And he's not going to go. That's the reason why the Jets want to get rid of him. You know, so it's like we know what the Jets did last year when they drafted Braylon Allen, turned around and got Isaiah Davis. Like they were trying to get away and hurry up and beat the tide when it comes to this Brees Hall contract. And so you want us to trade for it and take that on? They feel like we that desperate. You know what I'm saying? They feel like we that desperate, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's desperation. Like we don't know that y'all drafted 2 running backs last year, even when y'all had Izzy Abanikanda, because y'all wouldn't want to move on for Brees Hall because y'all felt like he wasn't worth paying. But y'all want to trade him to us and have us pay him? I know Jerry looks like Boo Boo the Fool, but do I look like Boo Boo the Fool to you? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. I'd rather have zero tread on running backs' tires by going to the draft. Exactly, Angry. Yeah. So I'm not sure where Brees Hall thing came from or who they came from. Me personally, it's a no-go for me. But I love Brees Hall, man. It's my dog. Talk to him at the Super Bowl. Yeah, you can get Blue from Texas Day 3. Yeah, speed. You can go get Ollie Gordon. You can go get Ollie Gordon. You could go get Tootin, Marcus Yarns, Taj Brooks. Like, nah, I'm cool on that. Yeah, 1,000%. You can go get Devin Neal, man. I mean, I was just kind of just checking the tea leaves here. I'm not sure what's going to happen to Devin Neal. We might see a situation where Devin might be 5th or 6th. I think what may have hurt Devin slightly may have been his combine because people are concerned about his speed, but I'm not too concerned about his long speed, y'all. I really is. I'm not. I know a football player when I see one. I got an opportunity to see Devin Neal up close and personal more times than enough. I am extremely confident in Devin Neal and what he can bring to the table. And so if you get Devin Neal in the 5th or even the 6th, you have stole the NFL draft. See here, I don't want to hear about contracts either. I feel it will get done. It's just us when I think she's talking about Micah. Talking about Micah. Yeah, 2024 Corvette with 80,000 miles. Yeah, I want something brand new off the lot. I want something right off the lot. None of the running backs we've had were successful in the playoffs. I mean, kinda. I mean, Tony Pollard got hurt versus San Fran. And honestly, I think some of the playoff games we kind of abandoned it. To be honest with y'all. Let's see what you're gonna do when Jerry takes his number 1 asset and clean up in the draft, possibly getting 6 to 8 picks in the first 4 rounds. Not sure what that means, bro. Let me explain that out. Yeah, I think coaching, right, Angry. I think coaching and scheme wasn't successful in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Whole different conversation. And I feel like if Tony Pollard doesn't go down, I really feel the Cowboys win the game versus San Fran. I know it's revisionist history, but I think if he doesn't go down, we win that game, right? But I still think it's very important that we have a running back that we walk out at least round 3 bare minimum with a lead back. I don't want a running back. So Jerry and Stephen Jones or whoever Dallas Cowboys, if you're watching right now, I know someone's lurking. Nah, we ain't doing that today. No, that's goofy. We ain't doing that today. So I know someone's watching. Someone's lurking. Right? I always feel like someone's watching me. All right. Dallas Cowboys, get this into the war room. You cannot walk around with a running back. No key here in Cowboys fans saying we need a running back, No, we don't need a running back. We need an elite lead running back. So don't try to spin it, right? And say, oh, well, we got Ollie Gordon in the 6th, and we have this run. No, not a running back. You know what I'm saying? So let me clarify. Because I know sometimes the Cowboys do that. Like, oh, you're saying we heard our fan base and we know that we needed a running back to fill. No, we didn't say a. We didn't say a. We need a running back with elite traits, right? We need running backs with those things that you can't coach. That's what we need. With those traits, right? With those traits. Don't have a guy who is good, right? But you can coach him up and he'll be good rotation and a solid piece and a special teams guy. Like, no, 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 no. We need those running backs that has those things that you just cannot coach. That's what we need in Dallas. And it has to happen either today or bright and early tomorrow. And draft start tomorrow, 7, 6. You know what I'm saying? Now tomorrow, y'all, I'm not going to be in here. Tomorrow, I'm going to be outside with the fan base. Depending on if it gets too cold, I might bring my ass back in here. But I'm gonna be outside just with the fans. I'm gonna put my hoodie on, my jersey on, and walk around amongst the fan base and do that because I never really do that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I lose that as a content creator. I'm always like kind of in here. But I ain't going out there today. It was cold as shit out there today. So no, I'm staying in here. I'm staying in here. I got the draft right there on TV. I got it right there. Got it right there. Like I said, the media room and the press conferences are just right there. So I can just go over there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling today. But tomorrow I'll be outside, go to the fan experience, toss the football around, talk to Cowboys fans, you know, and get that whole type of spiel. Yeah, no later than third round for running back, please. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Asiatic pain, there's no guarantee that Kenneth Grant will be dominant in the NFL. And we don't know if these lesser known tackles will be bust. Maybe it's talking to somebody else. I want Basil Tootin. I like Basil Tootin. I like the speed, right? But he got to do on the ball control. You know, and for me, I just feel like Tootin still isn't that guy, right? He's a guy, but he's not that guy. I feel like that guys come into play. Hampton is that guy, right? Jinty, of course, that guy. Judkins, that guy. Henderson, that guy. Judkins, that guy. I feel like Harvey is that guy. Sampson could be that guy, right? Also, I think Devin Neal could be that guy. Who did I miss? Yeah, Jordan James, that guy. I feel like that. So what's that? Like 9, 10, not his name? Yeah, 9, 10, something like that. So those are kind of my guys, right? I feel like once you get into like and here's the thing, right? You could be in a weird situation, depending on the situation, and try to find a gym. And I feel like when I hear Jerry Jones say the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, we draft the best in the NFL, I feel like that's some arrogance and ego where they kind of sit back and try to turn water into wine. Like they like the gyms type stuff. You see what I'm saying? And I think a gym that the Cowboys would really like to do is draft like an Ollie Gordon in the 5th. And Ollie Gordon is the Genty he was season prior, and we fixed him. You know what I'm saying? Like, is a Will McClay, Dallas Cowboys, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Maclin type of draft pick where you took Ollie Gordon in the 5th, and then he instantly becomes, oh, that was Ollie Gordon we saw 2 years ago. He's back. They would love that. They would love that to say, hey, we didn't have to spend an early round pick on a running back. We drafted Ollie Gordon in the 5th, and he was a 1,200-yard rusher. And they'll be able to beat the desk on that and say we did it again, right? I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Just go get a Judkins or a Henderson or a Harvey or a James or a Sampson or a Hampton. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Do not overthink this draft. Yeah, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. It's like, you ever like been with those guys that try to be the smartest guys in the room? Like they just do too much. They talk too much. They say too much. They got to show out all the time. Like sometimes, bro, like just play the game. You know what I'm saying? Just play the game. We don't need to, you know what I'm saying? We don't need all that. Just make it happen. Go get what you need and get out. Right? So if you need running back, You need wide receiver, you need defensive line, offensive line, and let's say corner, right? Use some of those extra picks, trade up, go get it, and get the hell out. We don't need to have 30 picks again, us guys who are special teamers, because you're on cleanup in UDFAs anyway. So, like, you don't need to use all your picks. Leverage some of those picks, move up, get what you need, and get the hell out. And get the hell out. They will act like Dave. They would act like Ollie Gordon is Derrick Henry, and they would love it. They would love to be like, we stole Ollie Gordon. You know, we stole it. You know what I'm saying? Be humble and sit down. Facts, bro. Facts. We don't need all that extra. We don't need that extra. We don't need all that extra. We don't need all that extra. What about Damian Martinez? I feel like Damian Martinez is solid, but Damian Martinez, I don't feel like he's an instant impact guy. I feel like, because he wasn't really that until this year in Miami, right? So here is my concern. I think we talked about this yesterday. We talked about this yesterday. I'll get to that. Or maybe it's the day before. I don't know. We've been talking so much draft, I forgot what day it was, right? If you don't spend a premium pick, whether that's round 1 or round 2 for the Dallas Cowboys, they don't feel the obligation to really use it. You see what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, if they did draft the Ollie Gordon in the 5th, right? They could sit back and say, well, hey, we ain't got to have a sense of urgency to get Ollie Gordon going. We'll use Javonte Williams, maybe Miles Sanders, sprinkle Ollie in there, this and then, so he's ready, and kind of slow play things. But when the Dallas Cowboys, whether round 1 or even round 2, if let's say they would go today tonight, they go Hampton at 12. Hampton instantly is a running back 1, and he will get 25 touches a game. We wouldn't have to have feed Hampson hashtags. We wouldn't have to have, feed, run the damn ball hats anymore. If they were to draft Hampton at 12, they will feel obligated to get this kid involved. If they draft Judkins at 44, they would feel obligated to get him the ball. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it. He'll get it. Kind of did Deuce. Like, they didn't have no obligation to really get Deuce involved. Hell, they kind of just set Deuce. Hell, did Deuce even play that year? I don't even think he played one game. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there was no sense of urgency. They drafted Deuce. We all said Deuce, right? Cute story, but there was no sense of urgency to go out there and play Deuce Vaughn. Kind of sit back and chilled a little bit. And if it works, it works, right? Enough with the $5 1,000-leg parlays, right? We need to actually put an investment into these positions, right? Put an investment into wide receiver 2. Put an investment into running back. These cheap little $6 parlays and 6-rounders and drafting a running back out of North Dakota State and a wide receiver out of whatever, and just hoping you hit. But if it hits, right, no big deal. Like if Ryan Flannery, if he doesn't hit, no big deal. Okay, no big deal. No big deal. If Deuce Vaughn don't hit, no big deal. Okay, cool. We tried it and it worked. We can't go into this season with that approach. Like, we drafted Ollie Gordon in the 6th, but if it don't work, we'll be all right. Like, nah, we need to create a sense of urgency. You can create a sense of urgency. Nate Thomas was doing great when healthy, though. Yeah, I mean, and some of these guys, and here's the thing. And I think I was talking to DMV about this. What happens is we as Cowboys fans do this, right? I'm guilty, right? When you bring in a player like Nate Thomas, who has low expectations, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Here's a 1 with expectations 10, right? Abdul Carr type expectations. If you draft a player who comes in with 2 or 3 low expectations, if they get to a 4, we're like, oh my God, the Cowboys did it again. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, bro. Like, yeah, he done better than maybe expected, but it ain't like he's up here yet. He's just, you know, he's a lot better. You know what I'm saying? 6th round pick, 7th round pick. You see what I'm saying? So we'll do that constantly and start talking about some of these players like they're up here just because they made slight improvement for zero expectations. Like a lot of people didn't have big expectations for Ryan Flo, you know, but made a few catches in preseason. Oh my God, I like some promise. Well, yeah, he's showing some promise, but he's just here. He's not showing promise up here, right? And we run into the situation, right? We do it with Jalen Tober, you know. Jalen Tober had these type of expectations. Oh my God, Jalen Tober's killing in camp. And no, he's killing in camp, but he's still here, you know. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, right? So that's what my motto for everyone has been. Week 6. Week 6, y'all. We will know what we need to know about this team, this coaching staff, these players. Week 6. Let's not do the situation again because y'all fell for it last year, right? Y'all remember when Tyler Guyton had those good camp reps versus Micah Parsons? Cowboys don't miss in the first round. Cowboys don't miss in the first round. Oh my God, Duke Merriweather, you did it again. You did it again, right? And then what happened? He got benched. Yeah. Okay, so Dennis Houston was just getting open in camp, right? I like Dennis Houston. Dennis Houston can be our wide receiver too, right? You know, nobody's immune to it. It got me. Kalen Carson, you got me, dog. Kalen Carson got me last year. You know, he put a fast one on me. I like Kalen Carson coming out of Wake Forest. I thought Kalen Carson had a good camp until the lights came on. And it was whoa. Turn the lights down. Whoa. What are you doing? Like my wife. What the hell is that? All right. Microphone. My wife does that all the time, right? If I come to the bedroom and turn the lights on when it's dark, or she likes to eat. My wife likes to eat dinner in the kitchen with the lights off, and I hate it. So I'll turn the lights on and it's like, chill. Kalen Carson, you're getting all antsy when the lights come on. Relax. You know what I'm saying? What is this Scooby-Doo ass bell they keep playing? Y'all hear that? I don't know. You know who didn't get anyone? Mozzie. You know, but see, yeah, bro. But the thing with Mozzie, right? Again, it's just like Mozzie. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, with Mozzie, right? It's yeah, bro. Y'all had that Scooby-Doo ass Billy going. You know, I don't know. Now I'm gonna tell you guys this, right? Hold on, get back to Mozzie. Yeah, we did. You know, no one got Mozzie, right? But like, what they'll do is like, it's like the media room is right there, so that's where like, all the press conferences and stuff will come on, right? And so it's weird, right? Because media, you think, okay, professional, buttoned up, you know, doing things the right way. It is not like that. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like it, but it's not like that. And what do I mean by that? I have my backpack, I have my tripod, everything already set up in the front row. I 1000% guarantee you guys, when Cam Ward's name is called and he walks into the podium, there's going to be someone who has moved my bags, moved my tripod, and is sitting in my seat. And they're going to sit back and say, "Oh, are you sitting here?" "Oh, I'm sorry. Someone sitting here. I didn't know this seat was taken." So the backpack, the tripod, my notebook, everything that you didn't know was taken. Get up, bro. Get up before I have to yell. Get up. Oh, okay. Get up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they'll try you in the media room, especially like when you're at the podium trying to get interviews. People elbow you out the way, and you know I try to be cordial and raise my hands. They pass the microphone around. People just blurt out questions. "Oh, Cam, like dog, we're supposed to wait for the microphone." So I kind of learned how to do it now. You gotta like throw elbows in a polite way. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll guarantee y'all my bag will be moved. That room is completely empty. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm showing you guys a picture right now. You know what I'm saying? I was in the podium Was nobody else in here? You know what I'm saying? Nobody else in here. My stuff is the front row. I guarantee you, somebody's probably gonna move my bag. You know what I'm saying? Someone gonna move my bag. Uh, let's see here. It says, what is going on in there? I don't know what the hell. I don't know what they're talking about. Probably nothing. Guyton got benched because coach sucked. Even still had issues only in the tackles. Yes, that could be a situation, right? So I'm really to see what Coach Riley can do with this offensive line, you know? And so we'll see. We'll see. I'm at, hey, I don't know what the cost. So I think someone said, don't be a menace. Angry you wild, bro. If someone move my stuff, it's to move furniture. That's just disrespect. Yeah, bro. But you gotta politely, you know what I'm saying? You gotta politely check people, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't want to hear old Jay Tuck and got to altercation at the media room. But I'm like, damn, bro. It was the Super Bowl in Vegas, bro. Super Bowl in Vegas. I was like, I remember I was at the podium for Pat Mahomes. I had set my bag down, had my tripod up, and I turned to talk to this girl. She was like from UNLV, and she like covers the team or whatnot. So I'm talking to her, like I'm set at the podium, bro. And I saw a guy. He comes down, grabs my tripod, moves it over, grabs my bag, moves it over, and just starts setting up his equipment. And she's like, "Hey, they're moving your bag." I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, was that your?" I didn't, bro. No. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Do you mind if I get the shot? Yeah, you can get the shot and get the interview with Pat after I get mine. Put my shit back. Oh, yeah, but we're with the local. Okay, I understand that you're with the local so and so. Hey, will locally move my shit back, please. Thank you. All right. Okay. I don't give a damn if you're with the local. Locally, move my shit back, bro. Like, please. I said please. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So you got a little get a little live and lit in the war room. But yeah, so today, y'all, like I said, it's really going to depend on how the board falls. I think that's going to be the biggest indicator on how things will go, right? It's how the board's going to fall. And I think there's going to be some opportunity. Now, like I said, it feels very goldenish, right? It feels very goldenish. Me, I just really want Mac, y'all. You know, when I was at the combine, of course, I saw the interview I did with Mac when I got to interview Mac, and then I was walking out, I went to the bathroom actually, and I was outside in the lobby, and then Mac, his agent, and his trainer was outside. So I went over there, talked to Mac, introduced myself, like, hey, man, block out the noise. You know, you're extremely gifted. It was a pleasure watching the Big 12. I believe you're extremely talented, man. Just go out there and use your God ability and prove everybody wrong. He's like, oh, man, I thank you. Appreciate it. It's like, you know, I watch you closely at Arizona, and I can't wait to welcome you to the Dallas Cowboys in Green Bay. He's like, oh, bet, bro. He's like, oh, man, I would love to play for the Cowboys. Like, all right, bro, I'm going to be there front row to welcome you to the Dallas Cowboys in Green Bay. Jerry Stephen Jones, don't make me a liar, man. Don't make me a liar, man. I told Mac I was going to welcome to the Dallas Cowboys here in Green Bay, and I really want that to happen, y'all. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys and its fan base, we need it. We really need it. We really need it. We really need this. This is one of those things where we've been down, y'all. We've been down since we got beat by Green Bay, you know, in that playoff loss. Like, it's just been just like I was at the bar this morning, and like I said, other than drinking or anything, I was having some breakfast, and there's like 3 Eagles fans, and they came over, was talking to me. They were hella cool, but they were like, "Man, Cowboys, I feel bad for you guys, bro." And it's just like they couldn't even troll me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's like, "Uh-oh, Cowboys and Eagles." He's like, "Nah, man, like we feel bad, man. Like, I don't know why your ownership won't do anything. Like, it's just like they just won't spend money. Like, what's the reason? You know, what's the reason?" They're asking me, like, why don't you guys be active in free agency? Like, it feels like I'm just like, bro. So I'm sitting here at the bar with 2 Eagles fans, and I'm like, shit, y'all got me. Y'all got me. He's like, man, it feels like you guys just aren't aggressive enough. Like, you guys are just complacent. He's like, do Cowboys fans not get mad at that? I'm like, every day. He was like, well, do y'all tell y'all owner? I'm like, we try. He's like, it just feels like y'all not aggressive enough. And I was like, yeah. And I'm just like, shit, I don't know, bro. He's like, well, he's like, yeah, man. Well, it feels good that we won a Super Bowl, man. But it's like, if y'all don't get a move on it, Washington's going to pass y'all up. I was just like, yep. Shit. Yep. For sure. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what am I supposed to say? You know, what am I supposed to say, bro? Like, you killing it, bro. Like, you saying everything we've been saying. Let's see here. Let me guess. They was that color or no color believing they run everything. Like, what was going on in Motherland? They want things back that they have benefit long enough. Not sure. Let's see here. Would it be worse if someone trades ahead of us and takes Ted, or Ted's on the board and we don't take him? Chris, if he's on the board and we don't take him, that's going to hurt. That will cripple this franchise. That will cripple this organization. That will cripple this fan base. There'll be a few people that will be okay with it. That's the one thing where I will flip over tables. I will flip over tables if that's the case, right? And so if it's there and we're like, he's there, y'all. Oh my God. I get on Twitter, you know, sets available. We're all excited, right? And with the 12th pick, Dallas Cowboys select Greg Zabel at the University of North Dakota State. I don't know. I'll even saying that just in a joking manner with y'all, it damn near brings tears to my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It damn near just brought tears to my eyes just playing through that scenario. If Ted is there and the Dallas Cowboys draft Gray Zabel, I know I'm going to hit the LeBron. I'm going to pack up my bag in the front row and just politely exit, hit my Uber, get back to my hotel, and order a steak dinner, and just not give a fuck no more, y'all. Like that's just how it's gonna be. That's just how it's gonna be. So if that happens, y'all, yeah. So I think that's the worst scenario. I think that's the worst scenario that will cripple this fan base and this organization. If Ted is sitting there and we go center or / guard, right? Now, of course, right, y'all know. Now listen, all my content creators watching this, right? If you want to survive the next 4 to 5 weeks, y'all better love whoever the hell the Dallas Cowboys pick. You better love it. You better love it. So if it's Gray Zabel, you better say, hey, Gray Zabel is the best center and he is Travis Frederick. You better pump that shit up. Or them Cowboys fans, them opioids will be knocking at your door. You know what I'm saying? They will be knocking at your door. So if you want to survive these next 3 to 4 weeks, you better say every pick, you better come out and grade this draft an A, at least A minus. They hate Cowboys fans will hate A minuses. Give them an A and say that we killed it. Say that we beat Philly. You gotta say that. Say we beat Philly. And you gotta say that we got a steal. You know what I'm saying? That's my Dallas Cowboys content creator survivor kit for the draft. Whoever we get, it's a gem. Yeah, see, Henny ain't gonna last, bro. Henny ain't gonna last. Henny's not gonna last. Henny is not going to last, bro. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just not even do no live shows. You might as well just go on vacation. Henny ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to look out for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You better say, hey, Gray Zabel, and post some Super Bowl clips. You know what I'm saying? You better post some Super Bowl clips. You better post all the good plays. All the good plays he had at North Dakota State. Don't post no plays of him getting beat. Better say he's a gem. Better say Will McClay did again, and the Cowboys don't miss when they draft offensive line in the first round. This is a Johnny Manziel type Zach Martin situation. You know, Tech can't separate. You better say all them buzzwords, or that is your ass, Henny. That is your ass. Hey, listen, trust me. I went through it last year. I was like, hey, man, Tyler Guy's going to take some time. Bro, they was shit. My numbers fell off a cliff. And the crazy part about it, I said that in a film session before we even drafted Tyler Guyton in the first place. I did Tyler Guyton's film 2 weeks before we drafted him. Then Cowboys wanted me to change up my tune because we drafted him. I can't. It's all public. I can't say, hey, man, I like him as a right tackle. He has some athleticism. He's inexperienced. So personally, I wouldn't move him to left tackle. I would keep him at right tackle. You know, if I it's NFL to draft him, right? And the Cowboys draft him. Oh no, he's a left tackle for sure. We got our future. Like, no, I can't go back, right? That's what they want us to do, right? So if you love a player and you talk highly about him, and the Eagles draft him, you better hate him. You better hate him. You better hate him. You better hate him. Hot take: Isaiah Bond will drop out of the draft into UDFA area, possibly, bro. Which is a Dallas Cowboys special. It's a Dallas Cowboys special, right? That's how we got, Lyle, you know what I'm saying? Lyle Collins, so that's a Cowboys special. Depending on the situation. Right. So like case in point. Here's good thing you brought up Isaiah Bond, Angry. When you watch Texas film, tell me who plays faster, Isaiah Bond or Matthew Golden. I think we all will agree Isaiah Bond plays a whole lot faster than Matthew Golden. But Matthew Golden ran the 40 a whole lot faster than Isaiah Bond. You know what I'm saying? So, Isaiah Bond, that situation, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, I like Isaiah Bond. I don't think he fits the Cowboys. They don't really like speed like that. But, someone will clean up that situation. Said they're trolling insufferable. I'll have to take a break from the internet. Bro, can you imagine if it's like, oh, we draft Bray Zabel. Giants get Abdul Carter, so they Gucci over there in the corner. Washington gets Amari Hampton, so they out there celebrating. And then the Eagles get Malachi Stark, so they're all good. And here we're just with Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel would be a Silk the Shocker CD. I always tell y'all guys about that, man. I used to buy these Silk the Shocker CDs back in the No Limit days. I would go to Blockbuster and buy Silk the Shocker because he had 30 songs on these albums, bro. Silk the Shocker used to have like 30 songs, right? Skits and all. And I would buy these Silk the Shocker albums, and they would be trash, right? They'd be garbage, you know what I'm saying? Outside of his first one. And my homeboys would say, man, this Silk the Shocker is trash, but I would try to hype it up. No, you ain't heard track 25 though, bro. Trust me. Play it a few times, it's gonna grow on you. Play it a few times, it's gonna grow on you. I'm saying, you ever hear that? Where what song is trash, but someone who knows it's trash will say, hey, you gotta play in the right setting. It's just not a summer song. You know what I'm saying? Play it in the gym. Like making up all these excuses versus just saying, bro, this song is trash. You know what I'm saying? Nah, this song ain't trash, bro. You gotta open up your mind, right? And really hear what he's saying to understand this song. That's gonna be the Gray Zabel stuff. See, y'all understand, we get Gray Zabel, but y'all don't understand the vision. You know what I'm saying? You gotta open your mind. See, y'all don't know football like that. Y'all gotta get a little bit more in depth. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at what Gray Zabel, bro, just say it's a bad pick. Just say it's a bad pick, bro. Just say it's a bad pick. Yes, y'all agree. Bond plays faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So you can practice that at 40 though. That's track speed with exactly, bro. It's elite. And so I'm actually gonna do this not next year, not this year, but next year, right? Because I'm not in shape for that yet, right? But I have a friend and she trains Cincinnati, right? So she works with Exos training facility. And so she trains like Shamar Stewart, Shamar Turner. I forgot who else she has. She had a bunch of prospects in this draft. I talked about the combine. So she trains with Exos in Dallas, right? So it's like this big training facility that all the elite prospects in Dallas too. So next year, I told her, I'm going to come spend a week or two in Dallas, and I want them to train me to see if they can improve my 40 time. You see what I'm saying? Because like the stuff that they do, because she was talking about like some of the science stuff, right? Like they have like all these different equipment that will tell you, okay, something's off balance with your right foot. This is why your 40 is tweaking. So when you're on the block, make sure you lean a little bit to the left, like, or you're pushing off too heavily with your left foot, like all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like they have, like when they train for this 40 in the combine, and particularly the 40, they train every little minor detail and have all this data that's just calculating computers telling them how to fix their 40 speed. So you might mess around and just be at the combine and run a 4.2 and have the day of your life and never be able to do that ever again. But that's all people care about. It's like collect the 4.2, you're good. That's why these players are running 4.2 or whatever, run a 4.3 and be done with it. You want to run again? I'm done. I'm done. That shocker bass was dropped like a bug, man. Mister, blah, blah, blah. So the shocker rock real slow and then rap real fast like this. So the shocker real slow. Then I make you scream, yeah, like I'm like golly brain spaghetti all the table. That was funny. All right, so Shamar Stewart going to make a prediction. All right, let me get y'all predictions, man. Let me see what y'all predictions. What time is it? 5 o'clock. We'll probably stay live until we'll cook till 6. All right. Let me see some of y'all predictions though. Going to make a prediction with Pete Carroll and Shotty's relationship. I think they will have a plan for them to swap picks and Dallas gets Genty if it's past the Jack. Man, Pete Carroll will hang up on Shotty so quick. You know what I'm saying? Pete Carroll will hang up. Hey, what up, Pete? This is Shotty. Hold on, what? What? You said? Oh, it must be a bad connection. No, I mean, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Yeah, Golden did run it twice, though. Yeah, he's cooking. He's cooking. The 40 is just an indicator of game speed these days. They actually have tracking data. Yeah, they have tracking data. They have all sorts of stuff. Like she was telling me this stuff. So like I said, maybe next year, for sure, I'm going to go and visit the facility, put myself through training, kind of give you guys like an insight to next year. What I'm trying to do is get in shape. That's why I haven't been drinking. Last night I had grilled salad. I had a grilled chicken burger. Fries, right? So I'm eating healthy, but drinking tons of water because I want to get in shape. And then what I'm gonna start trying to do is I want to start training, not training them to be better, but I want to start training with them, right? And really go into the mind of athletes to see if my old ass can keep up. It probably can't, right? But I think it'd be fun. I always want to do that, and like it's like now or never, Tuck. But I think it'd be dope for like, all right, Jay Tuck now goes and does a day of training with Micah Parsons. I go in the mind of Micah Parsons. I train with Micah, and then I might go in the ring with Frank Martin and train with Frank Martin for a day, or I might go, train with some NBA player like PJ Washington and go through his training regimen. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be fun. I think it'll be fun content. Kind of switch it up a little bit, and plus it'll keep me motivated. See, Matthew Golden seems to be also a better route runner than Isaiah Bond. It depends, right? I think that subtleness in its details, right? So I always teach you guys the route tree, right? It's a tree. You have the stem, right? And then you have the branches, right? I feel like when it comes to Matthew Golden, he's more detailed in the nuances in his stem, right? So if he's running a corner route, right, from the right side, running a corner, right, he's a lot more precise than Bond in his stem. But the branching is where I would like to see some cleanup and some work, right? The coming out of it, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes when it comes up the line of scrimmage, depending on if he's like man press, right? I feel like his feet can get a little too choppy. And I didn't do a Matthew Golden film breakdown because everybody else did it. I was just like, you know what? Why? But I feel like when it comes up the line of scrimmage, and if we draft him, I'll go through it, right? But if he comes up the line, well, if we draft him, y'all, Matthew Golden is going to be the next Randy Moss because Jay Tuck has to survive content season. So if we draft him, his film session is going to be the next Randy Moss because I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to enjoy my summer. But when I say when it comes to Golden, sometimes become the line of scrimmage, it's extra steps, right? There's too many extra steps. You don't want to chop, right? You want to be more precise in your routes. His stem is perfect, right? The details in his stem, that's what I like the most. And then sometimes when you set up the branching, that's where it depends on the route, right? But he is a good balance of route running plus speed, right? Now there are some times where laps with catches, sometimes you get juggled a little bit, but we're not looking for a wide receiver one. I think that's the thing for us. And it's what a lot of people mix up. We got CeeDee Lamb, you know what I'm saying? All he has to do is be a Robin, and Matthew Golden, Ted, Emeka, or Luther Burton will be great Robins. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, if we didn't have CeeDee Lamb, y'all, like we didn't have CeeDee Lamb, right? And we're looking for a wide receiver number one for a guy that can go out there and be that guy where I can give them 14 targets a game and they can turn up and really be a threat. I would be skeptical on pretty much all his wide receivers except Luther Burton. And I think Big Game James said that. I think Big Game James said that is that we want a wide receiver one, right? Wide receiver ones. Maybe that bell, that's that Scooby-Doo bell, man. That means the food is ready. Yeah, that's what the Scooby-Doo bell, man. That the food is served. Ah, okay. Okay, I know I smell food around here. Yeah, NFL feeds you good, man. That's what that bell meant. All right, cool. Now we're cooking. Now I get that was the dinner bell. All right. That was the dinner bell. Now he makes sense. Walk a mile with Jay Tuck should be the name. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna walk a mile with me, man. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to train. Cause like I said, I got that assault treadmill that I got because I saw Micah Parsons and Abdul Carter. They did like this intense hit training, right? And they get up to 15 miles an hour. They would run for a minute, get up to 15 miles an hour, and then it would come down, right? And then they walk, and then Abdul Carter would get on it, get to 15 miles an hour. He would run for a minute, get off of it. Micah Parsons would jump back on. I tried it. I got to 3 rounds, and my heart was to jump out of my chest. My knees started cramping up, hamstring, quads. Like getting that thing to 15, to 12, to 15. Hold on. All right, we back. James Pierce is a beast. Hold on. Where's solid James Pierce? Oh, yeah. James Pierce is a beast, but he got some off the field problems. Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's officially been confirmed. I heard when it came to Pierce, it's like attitude problems, something like that. So I'm not really sure. Said go get them Scooby snacks. I might go get something to eat in a minute. Like I said, I'm probably gonna go for another 30. And see if anyone else is going to jump. I'll probably go for the 30. And like I said, y'all, I'll be in the press conference room. So I will be posting on the YouTube channel. So interviews with all the players. So like, there's only 16 here. So not too many actually even here. So I'm going to go sit out there and kind of do that and just watch the draft in there. And then I think after the Cowboys pick, I'm a dip, man. I'm trying to beat all this traffic. There's a lot of people out here. I'm not sitting trying to wait for 3 hours after because they're having a concert. Some country guy, he's really big, but I don't know him. He's performing, so people are gonna be out here drinking and stuff. And like I said, Green Bay is a vibe. Like Green Bay is a vibe. I really like it here, to be honest with you. It's kind of like Nebraska, something like that. It's like a Nebraska with a big football team because like the stadium is like in the middle of a neighborhood. So it's like a bunch of people having watch parties in their backyard. I was walking to the stadium. So I wanted to go see Lambeau Field, and I went to the field today. There's a bunch of people like, hey man, you want to hang out? And everyone's so friendly here. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's like this has been one of the most friendliest places I've ever been. Like I was sitting at the bar because what happened was, like I said, I was told credential pickup. You know what I'm saying? Look at your boy. Y'all see what that says right there? Y'all see what that says right there? You know what I'm saying? CFO gang, we are in the building. Y'all see that right there? It says CFO Sports. You know what I'm saying? That's us. That is us. This we built in this community. Don't let nobody tell you it can't be done. You see what I'm saying? Because we built that brick by brick, show by show, brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? CFO Sports in the building, right? So look to that. So I was told that I come pick this up at noon. So I got here because I wanted to beat traffic. So I got like 10:30 or whatnot. And so I was like, hey, it's like 10:30, 10:45, you know. So I'll probably grab a little breakfast. I went to this little bar, had breakfast, and I went over to the media pickup. And they're like, oh yeah, it's pickup's at noon. It's at 3 actually. And I'm like, well shit, what the hell am I supposed to do from noon to 3, you know? And cause I had all my equipment in my backpack. I was like, I don't want to walk around with this. So I was like, I went over to Lambeau, went to Lambeau Field for a little bit, and I went back to the bar. I was at breakfast. I'm kind of sitting in the corner, like just tweeting, minding my business, going on my draft notes. And these two gentlemen who were Packers fans, like, hey, bro, you okay? And I was like, yeah. It's like, you don't have to sit here by yourself. Like, come over here with us. And so these older gentlemen invited me over. I sat with them, talked football for a little bit. They're like, oh man, welcome to Green Bay. They tell me places to go. And so it's like real nice people. You know, even the waitress, she's like, hey, you know, I know people are probably not going to come to you because you're not ordering drinks or any food or anything, but if you need water, let me know. So she kept bringing me water. And, you know, so it's like, it's been real nice, genuine people here in Green Bay. Let's see here. Appreciate you, man. Hey, thanks for all again the dedication. Y'all appreciate me. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, you know, doing this when I started this channel back in 2020 when we drafted CeeDee Lamb, I never thought that one day this would be the reality for me. You know, it's come to the point where it's like it's the norm now. Like, it used to be like I would come to these things like, oh my God, there's Brian Baldinger, or oh my God, there's so and so, or oh my God, and it's like, oh, you know, I just saw them, you know, a month ago at the combine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't feel like, even though it's an accomplishment, I won't say I don't want to poo-poo that away, but it's now becoming the expectation to be here, you know, and the sense of belonging. I think that's the biggest change. Is like, you know, I did pack the suit. I was gonna wear a suit and dress up all fancy and stuff. I was like, I ain't gotta do all that no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gotta do all that. I'm wearing got comfy shoes on, put my vest on, put my hat on. Tomorrow I got my oversewn jersey in the bag. I'm pulling out the O tomorrow. I don't have to dress up and try to prove myself and do all that. Like, nah, we know I belong. You guys know I belong here, and so that's how we rocking. Watch you dip and we move back at the bottom of the first. I mean, that would be crazy, right? It'd be like, I'm in the Uber or something. The Dallas Cowboys are traded back with the Eagles to get the 32nd pick or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but like I said, it's only let's see here. Who are let's see here. Let's see here. Let me see who's actually here. I had a little thing. I think I left it. So the players that we have here, we have Tyler Booker is here. All right, Tyler Booker is here. Jahad Campbell is here. WIL, which is odd, Jahad Campbell, linebacker. Tyler Booker, Jahad Campbell, WIL Campbell, Abdul Carter, Matthew Golden's here. Mason Graham, Travis Hunter, Aston Genty, Will Johnson. Is this up? No, I think this has changed. I think this is incorrect because this gave us a sheet earlier and it's different. I think like Maxwell Harrison was here. So Jalen Milroe, Malachi Stark, Shamar Stewart, Kevin Ward. So maybe this is the list. This is an official list, but I think that's who's really here. So if the Cowboys draft Booker, I'll get to interview Booker. If we draft Golden, I'll be able to interview Golden. If we draft Ted, I'll get to interview Ted. But if they go like Gray Zabel or something, once again, I won't be able to get that interview. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. So, let's see here. Let's see. It's CFO ain't going nowhere. Cowboys going to be drafted twice in the first. Nah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Well, Tuck, who do you think that we draft? I think we move down, get a Becca or O-line with the extra pick, not Mac to grab him. With your thoughts, I think if you're able to move back and get a Mecca Ibuka, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, I'm not. I would say I'm either team weapons or team trade back before team trenches. you know. And even if you do, like I said, even if you do go trenches or offensive line, because they're lying, right? They wasn't team trenches. They wasn't team trenches. They were team offensive line. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were really pushing. Let's keep it a buck. They wasn't really trenches, right? But you know, if they do that, I'm perfectly fine with it if you add back value. So if you were to move back, right? Let's say you move back to with Tampa, 18, 19, right? Get a 4th round pick or an extra 3rd, whatever, and then you get a Mecca Ibuka. I'm cool with that. Shit, I'm happy. Count it up. You know what I'm saying? Good move, right? Now, if you do that same thing, what they got? It's like they got, ooh, like they got some food. They got chicken and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay, some food coma, and cornbread. Okay, you gonna eat your cornbread? You walk over to somebody. You gonna eat your cornbread? No, just but they trade back and got like a Tyler Booker or something. I would be perfectly okay with that. Like I said, for me, if you go offensive line, I want to see who you marry that pick with, right? If you marry the pick with a big, powerful running back in the 2nd round tomorrow, then we're okay with it. But if you don't, I'm not. Appreciate you, bro. Says Jay Tuck is him, suit or not. Yeah, I didn't wear the suit this time. Like I said, there was really no need. You know, because honestly, like a lot of people are, I mean, there are people, of course, in suits and stuff, but it's like I've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I didn't do the red carpet thing. You know, I did the red carpet because the red carpet just being like get dressed all fancy and stuff. But it's like, nah, bro, I'm in and out like a robbery. I'm more here for the Cowboys. That's why I got the Cowboy stuff on, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to know, like, you know, I'm here for Dallas. I'm here to hit a home run, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm really here for. Oh, yeah, Big Cat, front you, bro. I've got this question. What's my thoughts on Cam Scotabo Tuck? I think that Cam Scotabo is a football player, right? I think he's a very good football player. Do I think that he is a high caliber running back that you could lean on and get the job done, right? I do not the NFL level, right? So I feel like if you draft Cam Scotabo for Dallas, me personally, I wouldn't draft Cam Scotabo because I feel like we already have that in Hunter Luepke. I feel like the stuff that Hunter Luepke could give you is the same thing that Cam Scotabo can give you. Now, if you're a team that needs a premier running back, I don't think Cam Scotabo is it. Just me personally, right? I know the power, I know the effort, the leadership that he brings. He can throw the ball and do all sorts of weird different things, right? But I just don't think the guy at the NFL level. I don't see the separation. I don't see the burst. I don't see the agility. I don't see the athleticism. It's going to be very tried hard. But I think he's going to have a good NFL career, but you might see him used more like a fullback more than an actual H-back in most cases. Life was an underrated movie. It is classic. You show him the draft tonight. No, I am not, bro. I am not. One, will get banned on YouTube for doing that. Two, like I said, I'm gonna be over there in the green room here in a second once I jump off and eat some cornbread. I'm gonna go into the green room and then I'm gonna get interviews with the players. So it's gonna be my primary spot for tonight. And then tomorrow I will be out at the draft. I'll probably buy a hoodie. I need to stop by Walmart and buy a hoodie or a stocking hat because it's gonna get cold once the night falls. And then I'll be maybe out in the draft area where all the fans are and all the sorts of stuff. But the thing is, like, you're not gonna have a lot of players out there. There might be some guys who are like 2nd round guys who thought they were 1st round guys might stay. But I'm gonna kind of go out there and just talk to the fan base. I think that's gonna be my main thing. So I'll go out there. I got Joe Bonham. You guys know the guy that got Clarence. We asked Clarence like what school Zeke went to. It always goes viral. So my dog Joe is out here, so he's out there doing that stuff. I told him tomorrow I'll go help him do that. Well, actually, shit, I thought we were gonna jump off. We ain't jumping off. We're not done. We're not done, man. We are not done at all, Cowboys. I got my bro in the building, bro. What's going on with you, bro?
What's good, man?
Nut man is out here vibing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get right, man. See, I was gonna get one of them draft hats, bro, until I saw him in person here. And I was like, I might need him.
I ordered this like I always get the draft hat. I ordered this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was going to do it, man. Actually, they got another one that's just the NFL draft one. It's kind of cool. It's just with the draft logo. You know what I'm saying? That's like that.
That's
You
what
got
you should
draft
probably
in.
get because you're there with everybody. You're not just there.
Yeah, for the Cowboys. Yeah, bro. All right, dog. So go ahead and talk to us, man. Cause I know you hit us in the chat about some Gray Zabel, some Gray
Nah, man,
Zabel. The
look,
Dallas
I'm
Ro-
just going off with the what is it? The token smoke screen. The Cowboys is giving off like the convenient Jane Slater. I'm hearing this story.
Yeah,
Convenient Todd Archer. We're leaning O line all week. All of a sudden, over the last 3 months, it's been nothing but weapons, and then conveniently this week,
right,
it's
right,
nobody wanted. No reporters heard nothing about offensive line for not just 3 months, for about 6 months.
right.
It's been
Yeah,
about 6 months of us. We've been covering the draft since Dak went down. Dak went down. I said,
right,
well, I went ahead and bought PFF last year.
right. Start doing those mocks. Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? All this time, whenever we would do mocks, even PFF would mock us weapons. And then all of
Mhm.
the Dane Bruglers and then you got Brian Broaddus who still talks to the scouts. He hearing weapons. Everybody hearing weapons. And
Right,
then conveniently this week, Jerry Jones get up on the stage and he might as well wore a I'm taking offensive line sweatshirt. That's all he
right,
talking about. And I'm just like, hey man, it don't in my mind, it just don't make sense. Who first of all, who else did a pre-draft? I was thinking about this. Who else did a pre-draft press conference?
right,
Like who
right,
else does that
right,
besides the Cowboys? Like who else says,
right,
you know what? Let's do a press conference and tell everybody what we like. So
right,
that don't make sense.
right.
So we do it though. We do it because we're the Cowboys. I watched that video a bunch of times. The first time they mentioned offensive line, there's a tell in the video. You play poker. I know you play. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
As
right,
soon as they mention offensive line and Jerry starts talking about how much he loves it, Brian Schottenheimer, Stephen Jones, and Will McClay all touch their face at the same time.
mm,
It's like y'all all bad at poker because it's in
right.
sequence.
Well, oh,
So
yeah,
in my mind, I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me because even Jerry started to paint a picture. I know it looked crazy because all we do is draft offensive line. Yeah,
right,
it do. It do. You should if you're
right,
explaining it, you know it looks nuts because
right,
literally there's a statistic out there saying that no one drafts first round offensive line as much as we
right,
do.
right,
So
right.
it's just like, and then you run the risk. It's the reverse risk, bro. Of how they're like, oh, what if you take Golden and it's not instant impact? What
Mhm,
if you take I don't know, just any weapon and it just doesn't pan out early? And I'm
mhm.
like, yo, what if you take Gray Zabel because that's the name of the day,
Right,
and your offensive line's still in the 20s?
right. Hmm.
Like, what if he just don't pan out? What if it takes him 2 or 3 years for it to click?
Right,
So we gotta wait for him to develop too. And I
right,
just and they're like, well, in 2 3 years, everything gonna be set. Who for the next quarterback? Dak Prescott, he only
right,
got 3 years.
right,
It
right.
just it
And
the moves. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and I agree, bro. Because here's the thing, right? Uh, it's much easier for a Gray Zabel to bust than Mario Hampton, right? Even if Mario Hampton's an 800-yard rusher, right, he can still just give him the ball in the red zone. He can still give you 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying?
It's off,
So,
off
but
easily.
when an offensive lineman busts, it busts hard. Like think about like even with Tyler Guyton struggling last year, we were scrambling. Think about the Chiefs when their offensive lineman and Kingsley Samatea busted last year. It blew up everything because they were leaning so heavily on it, and then when that doesn't hit, but you could still get away with let's just say Quinshawn Judkins go 800 yards, 6 touchdowns, and Devontae Williams giving you 700 yards and 9 touchdowns
Yeah, we
and
get
be
we get
perfectly
15 to
fine.
1600 yards of production split up, but the rookie
Right,
gives you 9. It's a win.
right, right, right,
And to
right,
your point, bro, think about this. You could get perfect blocking. Let's just say Guyton takes a leap. Let's just say the guard they take is amazing, and we're blocked up great across the board. But when they come off the ball, they got that super duper clamps on everyone. I'm not even gonna go on my Jalen Tolbert rant. I'm just
right,
saying,
right, right,
like, the clamps is on everybody, and CD Lamb is bracketed. You even with amazing offensive line, you only going to be able to hold up with so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
then after a while, after everybody realizes they still can't get nobody open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we gonna just give Dak an extra 2 or 3 seconds to contemplate?
And that's what I was telling someone else. It's like, bro, we have to also remember there's a term called covered sacks. You can have good protection, but if your wide receivers can't separate, eventually that pressure is going to get there. You
You know
know?
what I've been hearing? We just gonna road grade everybody.
Mm.
We-
Mm.
okay, so we just even let's talk about some of the best running teams, and you can include the Eagles in it. The Eagles are a cheat code because they had the running prowess of like Adrian Peterson when he was in his prime, but they had those two killers on the outside.
Right.
And you can hate on Jalen Hurts all you want to. He can get it to them. He just can.
Right.
Right? But if we plan on saying, okay, we're going to road grade everybody, make the safeties come down, I don't think they'd ever honor it.
Right.
I think they would just take what they get. Okay, they're going to run the ball on us, and it's two. You got to play two mistake free. You're eventually going to get a hold. If you get behind the sticks, now what? You're not going to run your way out of being behind the sticks. You're going to have to pass.
And see, exactly, bro. And see, I think a lot of people say, "Oh, look at Philly and their offensive line, right?" But look at Philly and their weapons. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, look at San Francisco, their run game, and their offensive line. Well, look at San Francisco and their weapons. Like,
Bro,
so
San
when you
Fran will
talk
double
about,
down tonight and take Matthew Golden.
they probably will.
They took Pearsall last year. People act like San Fran don't be dibbling.
Right. I mean, yeah, they Pearsall, and think about this, right? So they had Christian McCaffrey, and they also had Ayuk, and they also had Debo, and they also had George Kittle. They're
gonna probably take Jalen Royals, replace Debo with Debo 2.0.
Right. so that's weapons, right? That's weapons. You look at Philly, right? They got Saquon, but as you already mentioned, right? They have AJ Brown. They also have Smitty. They have Dallas Goedert. They got weapons around it. So even if you were to get an offensive lineman, it's still Javonte Williams and CeeDee Lamb.
But you have to acknowledge your division. We are not in a position to just like unless they're gonna just say, yo, we're in a true rebuild. You're setting yourself back too far. You can't be like, yo, I got the equivalent weapons of the Giants. Because not to be funny, CeeDee Lamb's better than Neighbors, fine. But is he? Let's just say if it's on 100% scale, and CeeDee Lamb's at 100%. Malik Neighbors is at what 80?
Right.
He gonna be pretty damn good. He just needs his quarterback.
Right.
That young man can play. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right.
So if you got a receiver and you get let's just say they get a quarterback. Now what? They almost even with us. With our weapons, because that's not fun. Like,
all the Giants have to do is if the Giants did, let's say Russell Wilson wants himself, right, and they mess around and they get Abdul Carter and they turn around and went Hampton, they more loaded on the offensive side of the ball
than us.
On the side
offensively, and look, maybe we could say if we line it up, yes, maybe we have a better offensive line across the board. I'm talking about what we got. So that's us keeping Brock Hoffman. We still have a better offensive line. But Tuck, at the end of the day, I don't care how much better we would be at guard or something like that. They would be able to win a game. Like I've seen that. And I think it's kind of you know how they say the pendulum can swing too far left or right. I think it's just kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I know we don't want Dak Prescott to carry the team and we want to get him stuff to help him. But people are acting like Dak Prescott is like a bottom 20 quarterback.
Right.
Like his processing is broke. He can't play. No, Dak Prescott last year was trigger shy and like overthinking stuff because we really were struggling with what we was putting on the field, bro. Jalen Brooks should not be on the field. I'm just being honest.
Right. And so someone says, I don't agree. Look who's Baltimore's wide receivers, right? But you also got to factor in Baltimore's scheme is completely different, right? With Lamar Jackson, and also they have two tight end sets when they have Isaiah Likely and the other tight end. I forgot his name.
What do you mean? What I missed? What do you disagree with?
So he's saying that Baltimore is able to play without wide receivers and weapons. But see, they did that because they had a strong emphasis on running the ball and also Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson puts the ball in the air. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know if you could just say Baltimore's were able to play without wide receiver and weapons. Baltimore throws all kinds of not just the the Isaiah Likely's of the world, Baltimore at least tries. I'm not saying that everything hits, but they
Right.
brought in Odell at one point. They
Right.
trying.
They just brought in Hop, didn't they? You get D Hop.
They brought D Hop in. They brought in Odell. Their young receiver is Flowers. So they
Yeah.
have now Flowers is a
Flowers
CD.
and they're talking about mocking possibly Luther Burden to him too.
So my point is, Baltimore they've tried.
Hollywood Brown. Yeah, Hollywood Brown too. Yeah.
Hollywood Brown. They had Bateman at one point, or I think they still do. But my point is, they try to throw it. It might not pan out because not to be. Let's just be honest. As great as Lamar is, he not the exact. It's a different type of passing flow.
Right.
It's a lot of scramble drill. It's a little different.
Right.
But that's not me taking that away from Lamar because I like Lamar's game. It's just different.
Right.
Yeah,
let's get rid of all the Jaylens. All the Jaylens. All the Jaylens got to go.
I don't look. This is the common misnomer. I've been hard on Jalen Tolbert because I don't want him to be my 2.
Right.
If Jalen Tolbert was slotted and his ceiling is a 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think if his ceiling, he can battle it out and be our 3. I don't want to depend on him to be our 2, at least from what I've seen so far. Maybe this the year he take the leap, and I'll have no problem just completely being like I'm wrong. I apologize, but I'm afraid to just depend on that.
Right.
That's all. That ain't like there ain't no hate. I ain't saying he'll deserve to be in the league. I think Jalen Brooks is a little too small. That's not me trying to be mean. He's too slight a build, and I think even Tolbert struggles with blocking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my problem with Brooks. I think he can actually run routes a little bit and everything. He's just too small when it comes down to playing full time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Mingo got the size. He really do.
So with Mingo, Rome, this is what scares me, right? This is what, I'm saying, be almost an hour away. Sorry, 7 Central. I don't even know if I'm Central. I'm Central time, right? Yeah, so 7 Central, right? Here's what scares me.
Yeah, keep it real.
They are going to possibly consider Mingo as a part of this draft class.
You can't.
They're going to say
they can try.
They're going to say they spent a 4th round pick on Jonathan Mingo, who is young. And if you look what Mingo brought, he was a 1st round pick. They got him in the 4th, pretty much. And they're going to conclude him in this draft class. I remember Stephen Jones did that. Remember he did that with Brandon Cooks and Gilmore. Well, we include what we.
At least they was veterans, though.
Yeah, right. That's proven. A proven track.
You're probably right. This is the sad thing, though. I'm going to be on. I don't know when I would be comfortable with that. It would take 8 games and consistent production for me to be like, oh,
right,
okay. Like I don't care if Mingo has a great week 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's too much nerves. That's a lot of on his back. You go from when people say Jonathan Mingo hasn't had a solid ball thrown to him since he's been in the NFL to now you're a dependable wide receiver too. That is
he's never in the end zone in his career.
Yeah, like that's just
an NFL
much.
career. Right.
That's too much. So they might, and then I'm going to be. I know everybody want gumdrops and rainbows and happiness.
I know, man.
Because you know me, Tuck. I'm super optimistic. But if we roll into this season with Jonathan Mingo as our 2, I'm gonna be negative, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be negative. I mean, y'all gonna be like, yo, Rome, you changed. I'm like, probably because I refuse to believe in certain things anymore, and I'm sorry. I don't want to look, and I want to, yo, bro. If we drafted, let's just say we got, let's just say we got Tet and Juckins back to back. All right, I'll return to my old form.
Yeah,
I'll start tripping.
Y'all gonna see me at camp. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna start tripping and being like, I'm gonna start adding Eagles content creators again. Like, what you want to do? Like,
right.
And look, off 2 rookies. But if you send me out there with Williams and Miles Sanders and Mingo, I'm gonna be real humble when the Giants hit me. Would you say none?
That's why I was telling. That's why I was telling the chat earlier. I was like, I was at the bar, man. 2 Eagles fans came over and talked to me at the bar, and it's like, man, I don't understand what's y'all problem. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't spend no money in free agency. Like, y'all team just not good enough. Y'all don't make. I was like, I ain't had shit to fight back,
bro. They feel sorry for us, bro.
That's what he says. We kind of feel sorry for you guys. We miss when Dallas was aggressive. We could go against y'all, but now it feels like we're bullying.
It ain't even
Shit.
fun, yo. It wouldn't be fun. Like, yo, I don't want to joke on y'all. They got
Right,
it. You know what they
right.
got a beef with? Washington.
Right. That's what they said. They're like, man, if y'all, it's like if you don't move in this draft, Washington's gonna leap us, and we don't like them Washington fans because they corny. So it's like we need Dallas back. I was like, bro, we
That's
trying.
sad that Eagles fans want us to get back right so we can battle.
right. Like they want to beef
Yeah,
it
because
up.
I
Now
don't. You know what
Washington,
though? I don't want to be battling with the Giants. Like, so we battling for
right?
second place.
And see, I saw the other day when that Giants fan was, oh, we gonna have the best edge rusher, Abdul Carr. Like, bro, I'm not. I can't. You won't compare Abdul Carr to
Not
Micah. You
engaging
got it,
with y'all,
bro.
bro.
Yeah.
Then I
I
saw a story
refuse.
earlier that's gonna piss you off. I don't know if it's true or not. The Eagles is looking to trade for Ramsey,
Oh shit.
and I'm like seriously, like they're literally looking to trade for Ramsey. They know that Ramsey's familiar with Fangio's scheme. They can smooth over the beef, and I'm just like, yo, they going. It's like when you lapping somebody on like in Mario Kart.
Right.
It's
Right.
like it's like yo, y'all gonna start y'all going the other direction. We
Right.
laughing y'all.
Right. Yeah. Like, bro, damn, bro, you passing me again? You know what I'm saying? Like,
They already
yeah, it's
got
just
Quinyon Mitchell. They got the other young boy, DeJean, and y'all gonna get
right.
Ramsey. And
It's like
I'm about to run
they did
Kalen Carson out there, and
Caleb Carson, Kyrie Elam.
and
You know,
it's all because and I know you probably got roll soon.
nah, you good? We
It's
good. You probably roll for to like 6 o'clock. What
all
time
right,
the
and it's
draft? So let
all
me look. Go, keep going, keep going.
no, it's all because they refuse um to what's I gonna say? They refuse to use free agency. We'll forever get lapped, bro. You cannot draft your way out of this. And I know
Mm-hmm.
we have we're using free agency now at the bare minimum. It's like we dipped our
Mm-hmm.
toe in the water. Usually we put our foot in, not our leg, our foot in this year, and we got a
Mm-hmm.
couple of players. The best player we got was Dante Fowler.
Right,
We traded for Milton. I really like those moves. I think it's very solid. I like the potential of Milton as a backup, and maybe if Dak went down, knock on wood, I wouldn't
right.
be as I wouldn't be as like distraught as when it was like, oh, it's just
Distraught.
cool. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And
right,
and you know, I know that Dante Fowler's a professional pass rusher, so that was a really
right,
good pickup.
right.
But everyone else is kind of like as you hoping they pan out.
Mm-hmm.
You want Sandberg to pan out. You
Right.
hope that you can get something out of
We
Khalil.
hoping. We just
Yeah,
hoping, bro.
it's and I'm not. It ain't even got to be a negative connotation, but the truth of the matter is, you are hoping that they give you more. Murray, you want to see, okay, maybe we get more out of him.
Right,
So when you got that much hope outside of when you sign a genuine free agent,
right.
you feel definitively like, oh, all right, you make a more bigger trade. You like, all right, we just added somebody. Like when the Eagles, they didn't hope when they got Saquon Barkley. They said,
Right. They knew. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so until we start doing that, bro, it ain't nothing we can do. We can have a perfect draft. We still
Right.
behind them.
Right. We still behind them because they still
Because
not done. They still not done, bro. So my dog James JC wants to put you on the spot until we take the 12. I'm gonna put you on solo cam. I got to use the bathroom, bro. I've been holding it almost like for 2 hours, real quick. So I'm gonna put you on solo cam. I'll be right back, bro.
all right, that's cool.
Go ahead, do your thing, bro. You can hold it
Let me
down.
pull the chat up so I can see what they're saying.
All right, bet.
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to pull the chat up so I can see y'all, I think.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see him.
All right, bet.
All right, my fault, y'all. All right, I ain't hear y'all predictions. Tucker Rome, who y'all taking in 12? All right, I'll give you my prediction. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can hear me. Because I'm trying to pull up the comments and everything, and I gotta I'm trying to do both. And this is on I actually ain't on my laptop, on my phone. But we're gonna make this work. My prediction right now for the Cowboys at 12 is if Matthew Golden or Ted McMillan is not there, I don't, as much as I want Marion Hampton, I don't think they're gonna take him at 12. You know, I think Matthew Golden will be in play, but something in my gut is telling me that Ted McMillan is gonna go to the Panthers, and I have this weird feeling that the Saints is gonna draft Golden because I know it sounds stupid, but Kellen Moore knows we want one of the receivers. Kellen Moore loves the pass. And if they don't go quarterback, I feel like they're going to go with something to help the quarterback. So I can see them taking Golden. So if we don't have neither, My prediction is we're going to trade back. That's when it get dicey. If we trade back to like Seattle, I would love Omarion Hampton there. I don't think Seattle's going to trade up and take Hampton. I don't think no one's going to trade up and take a running back necessarily outside of Genty. So I think if we didn't get Hampton, I think if we traded back to like 18, maybe 20 with Denver, and I don't think unless we were going after Pickens, I don't think we would trade back to Pittsburgh. So I really feel like the Cowboys would trade back and take Hampton, or at least that's what I want. We might trade back and take a lineman, and that's going to frustrate me. But we might trade back and take a lineman. I can see it. Hampton or Ibuka with a trade. I would love Ibuka. See, I would love Ibuka too. So I would love Ibuka too. I was telling my prediction, Tuck, while you was gone.
All right, so who was your prediction?
I said if Matthew Golden or Ted are gone, I predict them trading back. And in the trade back, I can see them taking a Hampton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or probably a lineman.
Yeah, that's about right. Right. I would say, like, I feel like we're going to be on the offensive side of the ball, right? I feel
Yeah, I don't see pass rushing.
Yeah, I would be, that would be shock, right? That would be okay. I didn't see that coming. So I feel like what we'll do is if
if it's Carter, then we all know what that would be.
Yeah, that ain't happening,
it's
bro.
not possible. But my point is, I think whoever we bring in would be bare minimum third in the rotation right now.
Right.
Just to start camp because outside of Carter, because Fowler should be a starter now.
Right. Right. He's not only a rotational guy. He's not like a rotational guy, right? Yeah. You know,
he started all last year for Washington and showed dividends. So I think that and he played well versus the run statistically.
Right.
So I think Fowler could be good. I think Marshawn Nealon, they want to take a leap because they put a second rounder into him. And I think they want Sam Williams to take a leap because they put a second rounder into him. Yeah. So I don't think. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm with you, right?
No, I'm not saying they will. I'm saying
we all know what's going to happen with. We all know what's going to happen with Sam Williams. He's going to ball out in that contract year.
That's my point. It's a contract year. Yeah. He gonna go crazy, and we gonna lose him.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do 14 sacks from Sam Williams, and he gonna demand top salary. You know what I'm saying? It's 1 year production. So I'm with you. I feel like if Mac is there, you must draft Mac. Right? I've been saying that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I think Golden going?
Mac. Where you going?
I think Kellen gonna get us one last time.
You think he gonna do it? And So that is the interesting piece that would really help us if Golden could leap Mac. That would help us drastically. You know
I think Mac going to the Panthers.
Oh, and then we get sniped both. So if we get sniped by both, then yeah. So if we get sniped by both, then
it's the year with Denver, bro. Denver and the Panthers did us dirty. It's gonna be the same thing. Kellen gonna get us one last time. Tech gonna go. We gonna be like, we got Golden. Golden gonna go to the Saints. Everybody gonna freak out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm praying the Cowboys move back. Because if we take Gray Zabel at 12.
It's going to be hard to explain that one, bro. It's going to be hard to explain.
They're going to try to lie. They're going to try to lie it out. Yo, he's solid.
The Senior Bowl. You know, the hard worker.
And bro, this is when I'm going to be a heel. Because the first time Jalen Carter throw his ass out the way, I'm gonna be pointing at it like, see, and y'all gonna be like, you ain't no Cowboys fan. I'm be like, no,
you just being negative. You just being negative. You know.
I'm just saying, and then I'm gonna look up, and then Derek Carr gonna be throwing a Golden on a 50-yard touchdown. I'm be like, all right.
Yeah, it's gonna be So I feel like if Mac is,
how you feel about trading back for Ibuka?
I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Perfectly
fine with that. Perfectly fine with that, right? Getting the value back in.
I can live with that.
Because I feel like I've been saying this, right? Because for me personally, with my grades, I had outside Travis Hunter. I had Mac, Burden, Emeka, Golden. That was my final grades for the wide receiver position.
I think Emeka really is downplayed. That after the combine, he's getting downplayed a little too much.
Yeah, so the thing is, when it comes to Emeka Ibuka, he is high floor, low ceiling. You pretty much what you're getting is what you get. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to worry about that. I know if I put Emeka Ibuka right there on the field, I get my leader, I get my guys going to be there doing exactly what Dak Prescott tells him. He's going to get those separations, big windows. He's not going to be bitching about not getting targets, and he's just going to do his job and be good, right? So it's pretty
Well, he
much.
might be better than we giving him credit for.
So yeah, but I think he's the perfect fit for Dallas, but he doesn't give me the upside potential. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what Game James was saying earlier on the final word was like, I want 2 wide receiver number ones in Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't see the one in him.
Yeah, so I just don't see the one in him. I see the one in Burton. I see the one in I see the one in Mac possibly. Depending on what you get. Like with Mac, you're going to have to, the thing about Mac though, you're gonna have to put a battery in his back, right? Because you don't have to get him involved, right? You can't just give Mac 3 to 4 targets. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be enough, you know. So for me, you're going to have to get him involved early too, almost like a CD Lamb. You know what I'm saying? And once he gets revved up, that's going to open up things for CD. But here's where I question the Cowboys. You know, it's just they pay CD top dollar, they pay Dak top dollar. They want that combo to be clicking. Would they give him enough targets to even make it valuable as a 12th overall pick? Me, I think you could easily do that. But just from the Cowboys' perspective, they're probably, if they pass on a wide receiver, y'all, they're going to give us some type, either going to give us the Mingo or they're going to give us the value. You know what I'm saying? The value, the wide receiver, and we got a lot of young guys that we have, and we spent 6th on Ryan last year, and he showed some promise. And,
bro, they haven't panned out. They got to stop that. Everybody behind CD Lamb, bro, I'm an issue get off the pot person.
Right.
No disrespect to Tolbert, bro. At this point, we was looking at Gallup like he one of them dudes. Mm-hmm. Tolbert was the Gallup replacement. They got drafted in the same round. You supposed to be popping now, not still.
No, wrong. He was the Amari Cooper replacement.
I'm talking about like literal, not. He was never Amari Cooper.
But that was supposed to be the void that he position was Gallup.
To fill that void. I'm talking about like actual play. His ceiling, not the way. Well, he ain't never played like Gallup, but I feel like his ceiling could have been Gallup. At one point, we thought was a 3, and he played himself into a 2 before the injury. I think Gallup could have been a solid 2 before the injury. I ain't never looked at Tolbert like that. He had that one flash.
Yeah, and I mean, he played. But the thing is, he played. We had 8. He led us in touchdowns. So when Schottenheimer said that,
Gallup used to be on the field. He'll make like wild, like toe drag up the sideline, circus, fade route. So Gallup in the game, he'd get 3 catches, but one of them be like, "You, did you see it?" It's kind of like what Pollard used to do. Zeke was getting 20-something carries. Pollard gets 6, but one of them just be for 70.
Right.
You be like, Tolbert had that flash in the Pittsburgh game, and then it was like,
all right, cool. You know, cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think that's the thing, right? The ceilings, right? The ceilings with a lot of these players isn't like the ceiling compared for a Jalen Tolbert to compare to a Mac is completely 2 different buildings, right? The ceiling compared from a Jalen Tolbert or a Mingo to a Luther Burton, 2 different buildings. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the thing. Like these guys do have some upside potential. Mingo does have some upside potential, but I don't see Mingo being more than, like you said, a prime Michael Gallup.
Mingo has to take it, bro. It's like what I said about Hunter Lipke. The NFL is such a, you get a chance, bro, you better take it, or I don't care no more. Hunter Lipke got his chance. I don't give it. People be saying, yo, Dak handled the ball funny. No, that was his shot. That was his shot to transcend in that Miami game. You supposed to, I don't care where the ball at. I'm not dropping it. I'm scoring. And the thing is, like, that was your chance. Like I always like to use Dak as an example. Bro, he not supposed to be here. When he got his chance, when Kellen went down, after Romo went down, Dak never let it. He's like, you know what? I don't know. I'm about to have to win 10 games straight for y'all to really like. And he, you know what? He went out there and he just played lights out for them games. It wasn't hundreds of yards all the time, but it was like he did enough. And my point is, when you get a chance, seize it. And some of these guys been on the field. Yo, Jalen Brooks, you should know that you can't fall.
Right.
I know you fell. I know it was an accident, but you can't. your stature of your career, if Flournoy ever gets real snaps, he
Right.
has to make them count. He can't
Right.
think. He don't have the time that Ted McMillan would have. Ted McMillan would have multiple games to get going. Jalen Brooks
Mhm.
and Jalen Tolbert, when y'all get on the field, you better flash, or we looking to
Right.
replace you.
Right. And see, but that's the thing. It's like,
It's
if
not
you
fair,
believe,
but
no, but my thing is, if you believed in Tolbert like Brian Schottenheimer says he did, right? Why did you go get Jonathan Mingo? So where was the sense of urgency to
that's
go
my
get
point.
Jonathan Mingo for?
It's
So
just
that
talk.
lets me know. And that's what I'm saying. Like the move said that their mouth says they're confident, but their move said they're not, right? Their mouth says they're confident in Brock Hoffman, but all these random offensive linemen you're bringing in for tryouts tells me that you're not. You see what I'm
Bro, the
saying?
talks behind closed doors is what count. They ain't
Right,
making these boards, or they not hinting at Ted McMillan and Matthew Golden for fun.
right,
The talks are happening behind the scenes. That's where Dane Brugler and Broadus and all the people that Tom McShay, when they get their little tidbits from people, hey, what they talking about in Dallas? They
right,
are talking receiver. So you can come to
right,
press conference. Yo, let me ask you a question, Doug. Straight up question. This goes with what I'm talking about. Why does everybody act like coaches and GMs don't lie?
right,
Where's this honesty card that they swear? Yo, Brian Schottenheimer said it. So they be
right.
lying.
They be lying all the time. I mean, because they're going to tell you the truth. Hey, Brian Schottenheimer, what are your positions that you want to focus on in the draft? Yeah, well, our number one position, let me tell you, is wide receiver. And then if a wide receiver isn't available, then we're probably going to, like, he's not going to tell you the truth. He's going to give you roundabout answers
Yeah, like
and
they
keep
not telling
everything
the
to
truth.
themselves. Right. And so, but a lot of people, we kind of hold on to that to find a narrative like, oh, well, Brian Schottenheimer said he wanted to go offensive line and go trenches. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He just gave y'all the same dirty ass buzzwords he been giving y'all:
He just
tough,
that's my point,
physical,
bro.
power,
Sometimes it's time to read into it. Sometimes
right,
it's
right,
why, because my thing is this. Why would you hold a press conference and just start saying, hey y'all, just in case the rest of the league was wondering, we
right.
really like all the offensive linemen a lot, and
Yeah,
that's all we
yeah,
want. I know
right.
there's 12 teams in front of us and teams that can jump us, but you know
And,
what?
and remember this, Ramon, right? Remember, I messed up with this. I forgot that the Dallas Cowboys brought Maris Leofau in for a visit. They kept that close to the vest, right? So if you're wanting to draft offensive linemen, okay, why would you bring in Tyler Booker and Simmons as a late round visit or a late process visit and make that public too? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you could have
saying?
just not told us.
Yeah, right. It would,
So
because we had the list. It could have been like, you know what? Oh shit, they took Booker. I didn't know they even met with
but
Booker.
my
Oh yeah,
point
we
is,
did.
all of a sudden, Calvin Watkins, why did he just wake up? You know what? Just in case y'all was wondering, like, why was Booker on his mind?
Right.
It was too
Mm-hmm.
convenient. Then all of a sudden, James Slater's like, yo, one more tidbit. They've been really heavily talking. Why is that prevalent?
Right. Right.
And it's just
And see,
like,
and see that's the fee, right? Jane Slater is not in Dallas right now. She's in New Orleans covering the Saints, right? But let me shoot this shit to her real quick. You know what I'm saying? Put this out here.
oh, she
I'm saying,
left. She's not in the Dallas beat no more.
I mean, she is, but she's covering for NFL Network. She's covering the Saints right now.
Okay, salute.
So someone just, yeah,
Yeah,
take
like
that. Yeah.
just like
Mm-hmm.
Todd, that day, it was all in sequence. Nick Harris is like, the Cowboys are enamored with Josh Simmons. Why today? You could have been enamored with him for
Right.
months.
Right.
What is happening?
Right.
The last 2 weeks has been Golden Gate, and then before that was Ted McMillan. Then
Right.
before that was Ashton Genty. It was all these weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden on Monday, it's like the captain planning everybody by my powers combined. Let's talk
Offensive line.
offensive line for the
Right.
entire week.
Right.
Like it don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes me. And if they take it, then maybe I'm just wrong. But it don't make sense to. Hey y'all, this is what I'm about to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
Right.
boxing match. You like, yo, I'm about to try to uppercut you right now.
Right. And
Right
I'm
now.
gonna tell the whole world. Right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So it's just like, I think there is a lot of smoke screen. I think the smoke screens is because this draft is going to be so chaotic, right? And I just think that being close to the chest wasn't just a Mike McCarthy thing. I still think that's a Cowboys thing, and I highly doubt that you have a brand new rookie head coach coaching for the first time ever in life. a new defensive coordinator, and you're just gonna just tell your draft plans and reveal it to the world. You know.
And this is my another thing. You know the Cowboys do this. They want to be verified in their selection.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other way to make a person look good than offensive firepower. I'm just saying, Brian Schottenheimer come out and we're a very solid offense that needs pieces, and we have a solid year. He's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
We go 6-11. He's a failure. I don't care how solid the things he was doing is.
Right.
But if you come out and we lighten Ish on fire, but our defense just kind of failing, he a
get a
rock
pass.
star.
He get a
rock
pass.
star.
Right.
And you know what? I'm vindicated and I'm validated in my selecting of Brian Schottenheimer. So let me load him up with weapons. And if we fail, let's fail shooting. Let's and
Well,
we'll get that corner.
It worked. Think about it. Worked for Mike McCarthy, right? Remember back in the day, we used to scream Team 40 Burger and all that shit. Defense was bad as hell. You know what I'm saying? But we was Team 40 Burger.
He was still getting props though.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, the offense.
But if we got a solid defense, if we got a real solid defense, and we losing close games, we running the ball,
You say if it draft off his line, Brian get fired. Yeah, if he draft off his line, man.
That's my point.
Witt,
like if
Jason Witt go be rubbing his heads at home like Bird, man. Like, yep, got him.
Tuck, me, you, boss, DMV, and Vach, whoever. We can look at it from the eyes of like, this is a great team building block. We're gonna be just right there next year. We can be like, yo, the offensive line is functioning, the defense is solid, we good. But I'm sorry, this is not the Cardinals.
Right.
We're the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
You do that, we've already had an 18. By the time the season starts, we had an 18 to 19 month bad news cycle.
Right.
From losing in Green Bay, horrible drafting, all them injuries, Dak Prescott and them contract issues, the Micah contract issues that's gonna come right back after the draft, right? So all the way up to the year, and you telling me we can handle another mediocre year?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be 2+ years of negativity.
Exactly, bro.
I don't see a guard. You can't just drop a guard in there.
Drop a guard in there, bro. And after, like I said, the Derrick Henry passing over, Ezekiel Elliott flopping out, losing Mike McCarthy, like all those things, bro. You need a lightning rod with this fan base.
Something.
And a guard is not going to do it. A guard is not going to do it. A guard is not going to do it. Like there'll be a few people. Oh yeah, we got a guard.
And a veteran receiver too. Like I hate to say it, a guard and signing Amari Cooper, that's not going to do it because this ain't 5 years ago.
Right. It's not enough. It's not enough. Right now, there are tons of people. It's a shitload of people outside.
You better get your energy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of Cowboys fans out here in Green Bay. You have to give that. We went through a lot this year for the number 12 pick. We did not go through all this for a guard. You know what I'm saying?
You really want the camera? Yo, you really want the camera on that cat? They're gonna find one.
Right.
You want the camera on that Cowboys fan that the Cowboys select Gray Zabel, and you want because tomorrow ESPN, you want them to.
Right.
That's what you want all day tomorrow, just
right. Just the head shake.
Because even Ibuka won't get that reaction. But if you take the guard,
if we draft Gray Zabel, what's going to happen? All Cowboys fans will be like, Tuck, tell me about him. That's crazy. That's well. What we get, Tuck? I don't know much about it.
Let me say, it's not that Gray Zabel isn't solid. I looked it up today. I asked a couple people that I'm cool with. He's solid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want solid.
Right.
And look,
right.
Tyler Booker is very physical. I was asking you earlier on Twitter about his fit, but that's not a lightning rod. And I'm sorry, if you love offensive line, sure, Lou, you're going to pop champagne and pour it on your face if we get Tyler Booker. That's you, one person.
Right.
If we draft Matthew Golden, if we draft Ted McMillan, it's going to not just hype us up. Forget the fans. The locker room is going to lose. Only people that's going to be mad we draft Ted McMillan is all the Jalen's.
They'll be all right. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. Yeah. So my dog cuts in the what's going on? My dog getting ready for the draft. Yeah, they'll be over it, bro. It's a lightning rod, bro. And think about this. I always try to tell people, even before we got Brandon Cooks, right? CeeDee Lamb and them was saying, go get Odell Beckham Jr. Like, I'm saying the fact that Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb picked up the phone to call Cooper Kupp. That lets you know, hey, bro, we need some help.
Yeah, why they look? They so comfortable with Jalen.
Right. Yeah. And what did CeeDee Lamb tweet? I can't do it on my own. I can't win it by
Bro,
myself.
CeeDee Lamb, go watch that clip. You busy, so you probably ain't seen it. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott working out the video clip.
I ain't seen it yet.
Just watch. It's a little, Brandon Laurie put it out. He get all the
Oh yeah,
IG clips.
right.
But
Yeah, he be lurking.
shout out, hey, look, somebody gotta do it. He do it for me. I don't got. Shout out to Brandon Laurie. He found all the clips. Nah, but CeeDee Lamb was out there. They throwing and getting they thing back together, and he's like, Forrest back is about to be a problem. And I'm just like, y'all don't understand the joy in his eyes. Like, yo, man, I almost wasn't looking like myself. I'm happy to have my quarterback back.
Right.
You feel me? Like lightning rods for teams. Having 4 back under center. I don't care how much Micah came back with juice.
Right.
Having your quarterback do something different for the team.
It does everything. Even for me, bro. Like, as soon as I got the news Dak was out for the season, I checked out, bro.
Me too.
I checked out. Bro, I remember this is probably the first time ever in life I slept through it. I remember that Cincinnati game. I just dozed off.
Bro,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, bro?
Lord Brunson made a joke earlier that kind of it was foul, but he said, "Yo, man, y'all should know what's going on. Y'all been talking draft for 6 months." I was like,
Yeah.
Yo, we've been talking draft for 6 months.
6 months, bro.
So
I think I started October doing film breakdowns.
I ain't never talked draft this long.
Right.
So yeah, man, I do all that for Gray Zabel. I'm gonna be a little pissed. I'm sorry.
Right. All that's why I said last year, bro. That's why I kind of chilled back and pulled the reins a little bit, because I broke down all them running backs in last year's class, and we didn't draft one of them. Skipped them all. And if we do that again this year, y'all, I don't know.
And I don't want Breece Hall. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
It's not that Breece Hall can't play football. It's bad team building. You trade for a running back that you're going to have to pay.
Right.
And see, like right away.
And see, what I hate what the Cowboys are doing, they're going into the draft thinking about who they can get after, right? So it might be a situation where, let's say Trey Amos is available. Well, we passed on Trey because they feel like they can bring Gilmore back. And so that's the mentality, right? That's the mentality I'm afraid of. Is like, okay, we pass on running.
I bet you this is why keep telling everybody.
Bro, can you imagine? Can you imagine they pass on running back and bring like Zeke back or some shit, bro? Like,
they would trade for Breece Hall, and look what we did.
Right, that's what we gave you, a running back.
My thing is this, Tuck. You can't the Cowboys. People keep saying, "Yo, we can go guard in the first round because we like earlier when you were saying who you gonna pair him with."
Mm-hmm.
Bro, our history shows me that we would go guard, corner, DT,
right,
and then try to give me Nick Nash and Tootin,
right,
and be like, look at it, it's nice.
Right.
No, it is not.
You see, you guys wanted a receiver. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on.
I don't want another one to battle with the hodgepodge crew. Right. If you don't get a receiver by the 3rd round, don't get one. I don't want another one.
Right.
Just don't even get one. I don't care how many picks we got left.
Right. Facts.
And if you don't get a running back, I don't even have the power to say that, but I'm gonna be so frustrated because by the time the 5th round, Brashard Smith gonna be gone. All of them gonna be gone. I don't want James Jones. I don't want LaQuint Allen. I want
right.
You know what I'm saying? One of the dudes.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't want a running back. I want an elite running back. You know,
and they're gonna do it, Tuck. That's the scary thing. They would not take. They'll skip all the weapons.
Yeah. And they will. That's what I was telling you earlier, bro. They will draft the Ollie Gordon and trying to turn water into wine because they feel like that's the way. That's the way. We got Ollie Gordon.
Why can't they look at who's in that room that says, "Hey, y'all, let's just look at the last 20 years."
Right.
All of these developmental weapons ain't working.
Right.
When the light is brightest, like Boss has been doing this whole thing where, if DeMarco Murray ain't fumbled twice, we would have been legends. Bro, he fumbled twice because he was not him. He was really good at a point. But really good comes back. It regresses to the mean. He had his moment, but it was a moment. Right. You got special is when the game on the line in the snow, you break it
Right.
for 80. That's called
Right.
Saquon Barkley.
Right.
You got to be special. I want
Right.
special.
Special.
Stop getting these dudes that's okay and be like, man, when the lights was on, they ain't praying out because they wasn't
Right.
ready.
We got to hype them up, right? And that's the same thing. The San Francisco 49ers did that with Christian McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey, right? Saquon Barkley, like you have guys that can step up. You know, Chiefs really have a running back per se, even though you have Pacheco. They knew that, Rashid Rice was going to step up in the big moments, the previous Super Bowl. And they had Travis Kelce, of course. And, like they get guys that's not afraid of the light. Xavier Worthy plays at Texas. He's not afraid of the light. Like
Them
Quinshot
lights
Judkins.
mean something, bro.
Yeah. And that's the same thing. And that's the, I hate that we have to bring them up, is that Philly just simplified the draft, bro. Georgia's won a national championship, bro. They're not afraid of nothing. You know how
That's
hard
why I
it is to
want
go through the
golden.
gauntlet? You
It's
know
to
how hard it
make
is to go through the
that's
gauntlet
it
of
ain't
the
even
SEC?
golden. It's golden ceiling. Because if
Right.
his ceiling looks like what he looked like when them lights turned on, it's like he turned up. He said, "Oh, the game on the line."
Right.
On the Scatterboo going crazy. Let me crush his little feelings. Like
Right.
I need that.
Right.
I don't
Right.
need to. I got open, but I fell and dropped it because the pressure.
Right. The lights were right. Absolutely not. Salute to David for the $5 super chat. The Browns are taking calls from teams. Think Dallas gets saucy and moves up. Love your content. Salute to you, Rome. I would love.
We need too much.
Yeah, we need way too much. We got to burn. You know what I'm
If
saying?
we traded up and
burn.
took Travis Hunter, I would be happy. But the first thing I would think is, okay, y'all better start making some free agent calls because we need stuff.
Right. You know what would be crazy though, bro? Imagine, y'all. Let's close your eyes and imagine how shit would be right now if we didn't re-sign Dak Prescott. That Shador shit would be so loud right now, y'all. It would be bleeding out the ears. It would be bleeding out the ears.
If we was available to take Shador, if we needed him, somebody else would take him.
So then he would be the next heir apparent of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So if the Cowboys did not have Dak, and that's what all these people want to move from Dak. Look how shitty this draft and the quarterback market is, where we could be.
Bro, it's like this all the time, though, Tuck. Like I look at the Dak thing in the reverse. People love to hate on Dak, bro, but you know how hard it is for these dudes to just. I remember the dude that came out of, what was his name? Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they hyped him up.
And what about the other dude that went to the Titans?
Will Levis. Yep.
Not the Will, but the other, but who before him, the black dude.
Oh, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. It's these guys every year that had they rise to fame during the draft and during the combine, and look at his arm is crazy and he could do this and that. But this right here, that's Dak's thing. You watch that video with CD, bro, and you're gonna really hear Dak say, "Yo, man, because if CD cut over the middle, he like the ball right here, and then if he do this, if he moves like this, it's like a small clip. Right? He's like, I'm gonna try to hit him over the top, and it's like, nah, bro, that is special, and y'all should be happy we got that. But they think Dak dropped back and just throw it out of bounds because they in their mind they swear he can't play football. I'm like, yo, y'all spoiled, bro. We got one of the best in the game.
Facts. And that doesn't come easy. All right, we gonna keep things cooking, man. Got my other brother in here in the building, man. Angry, what's going on with you, big dog?
Hey, I'm gonna Tuck.
I gotta
slide because I gotta do some things for the fan before everything get really started. So you and Angry, y'all shut it down, man. Appreciate you.
All
right, bro.
I can still hear you, Tuck. You there?
Oh yeah, I'm still here. Are you about to jump
I gotta
on?
slide because I gotta get ready before later. But you and
All
Angry
right,
hold it down. Yo, Angry, man, keep killing stuff, bro.
You as well, sir. You as well. Thank you, man. Appreciate
All right, man. That's
you.
love, y'all. I'm gonna jump
bro.
off and listen, but I gotta go do something for the fan before the draft start.
All right, bro. All right, yeah, we'll put Angry on the spot real quick. All right, bro.
All right,
let's get it. All right, yo, Angry Dog. So we've been talking a lot about this draft, man. So how are you feeling as we gear up this move? Where'd you go? Where'd Angry go? Where'd he go?
Yeah, you breaking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on. They're wrong. Hold on. Back. See, where'd Angry go? Hold on. There we go. All right, there you go. All right, good. Well, Angry, bro. So how you feeling as we get ready for this draft, bro?
Man, I've had to eliminate Ashton Genty and Tedroy McMillan out of my head.
You lowering expectations?
I am. I'm lowering the expectation. Matthew Golden right now, I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, when Rome brought up the whole New Orleans Saints thing, I'm like, oh man, don't take him out of my mind too.
Right,
Come on.
right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, that is the easy way to go about it, especially with this draft, is set low expectations. Whatever happens. But it's draft day, bro. A lot of people get excited for Christmas. It's Christmas for like football fans, not just Cowboys fans. But we were having a conversation earlier. It's been the hot topic button all off season, bro. Trenches versus weapons. For you, what side are you leaning on, and how would you feel if the Dallas Cowboys was to go offensive line with the 12th pick?
First, I started out, I was on the fence. I was like, I could see both sides. But the more it started going on, the more the conversations were happening. I was listening, and I'm like, man, the Dallas Cowboys fan base and y'all said the locker room could benefit from a jolt, a shot in the arm. And a shot in the arm is definitely a weapon within the first, I'm saying within the first 3 rounds. If it were up to me, I would use weapons with like first and third. You know what I'm saying? But if you could get a weapon in the first round and also turn around, and I know it's a shot in the dark, but a Tyler Booker being there in the second round, I wouldn't mind that at all. But like you were saying, if you get an offensive line with the 12th pick, follow it up with something. Please follow it up with something to show us that you are true when it comes to wanting to be aggressive and wanting to pound the rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and exactly right. We've heard it. You heard a lot of talking this offseason about being physical and tough, and bringing in Coach Clayton Adams and the run game, and bringing in Coach Riley, and be a physical. Okay, so if you go offensive line, I'm a being all right, whatever. Okay, cool story, but you have to marry it with something else. If you go offensive line once again, then go, I don't know, edge, and then go wide receiver, then linebacker. That's just not going to sit well with me. So me personally, if you're going to get an offensive line, you better marry that with a physical elite running back, or I don't want to hear it. Because if you go offensive line, let's say you go offensive line, right? Tyler Booker, okay, out of Alabama. And then you go, let's say, Jaden Akins or Jalen Noel, wide receiver, right? That doesn't bring toughness physically. That means he probably just want to pass the ball a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like the same old. So I think the most important thing that we have to really find out, what's the truth and direction when it comes to this Cowboys organization. All right. Now it's time to put everything we've been hearing to the test. It's all good, angry. You talk, physicality and all these different things, and run the ball and different new scheme, and when there's nothing going on. But right now, it's up to Dallas Cowboys to show this fan base that not only they want to put together a team, but a competitive team. And I think that's where a lot of Cowboys fans are getting anxious today.
Yeah, and I was also thinking like there's point in times that culminate something. Like when the start of free agency happened, it was like it was going to show us, okay, it's going to show us how aggressive you're going to be. I believe with the draft that it's going to show us how much hands-on Schottenheimer is going to be, how much of that philosophy that Brian Schottenheimer wants to bring to the team, how much is Jerry and Steven going to relinquish a little bit of their power to give it to him to be able to boast what he wants to boast. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. 1,000%. We'll see. All right. Who really has the controller and who's really driving? Now, me personally, I think it's Steven. I think it's Jerry. I think it's Will McClay. Because, Brian Schottenheimer has said things about, hey, we're going to kind of sit back and I'm going to trust the scouts. Like, no. We need you, need you to put some fortitude and really put your mark on it. So if you do want to be more tough, then say that, right? And stand for it. But, we'll see. But I think there's a problem, bro. We're going into, once I said, again, I'm saying the grocery store hungry. It's just too many holes. It's too many holes. There shouldn't be, we having this many conversations about tackle, running back, wide receiver, cornerback, linebacker, safety, defensive line. Like, this is way too much that we should be having to address in the draft. And for most teams, I'll be okay with that, right? Philly, I'll be okay with that. But for us, we know damn well we're not going to improve it in free agency, right? If we don't get a running back, we can't trust that we're going to make a power move and go get a Breece Hall. I would be shocked if we bypass on running back that we would even trade for a Breece Hall and then pay a Breece Hall. That's just not what we do. We know And I think that's the problem with Cowboys organizations. We have to put an emphasis on the next 3 days, or it just is what it is. But there'll be a few new acquisitions coming here or there, right? But this will be our roster heading into the 2025 NFL season.
And I know one thing that's really scaring me is, I mean, I think a lot of Cowboys content creators have said it, and it's weighing heavy on my mind right now, is the fact that Jonathan Mingo, that 4th round pick, that's gonna be the wide receiver that they try to rush. That's weighing on my head. That's why I'm super hyped about it, but I just don't want to bring my expectations up too far, you know.
Yeah, bro. I feel it. I feel them when we're sitting in the press conference tonight. And I really don't want to watch it depending on how it goes, right? When we're sitting in this press conference tonight and someone raises their hand and it's like, yeah, there was talks about the wide receiver position and guys bypassed on. Tell a little bit about where I was going on. Well, if you think about what we did, we feel like we've already addressed those needs. And we gave up a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo and Jalen Gilbert, who was a 3rd round pick. He's extending in the right direction. And we also spent a 6th round pick. Right. I do not want to hear that shit, Angry, but I feel like they already kind of have that program in their mind that they are going to lump Jonathan Mingo as a draft pick in this class. He was our 4th round pick. I guarantee someone's going to say that.
Yeah, man.
And,
I'm good. My bad.
Yeah, you good. Yeah, good.
Oh no, I was thinking about the whole Jerry Jones talking about coming out during the press conference and talking about linemen and stuff like that. And the funny thing that I've noticed this offseason is when they say they're going to do something, they do the exact opposite.
Right.
Like they're trying to throw up that smoke screen. We're not gonna fill any holes during free agency. Then they start filling holes during free agency. So I'm just hoping, like, with this offensive line talk, that other teams are gonna bite on it. Oh, they're gonna get an offensive lineman, and then they sneak and we get a weapon that we actually need or want.
Right. So look over here. That old move. You know what I'm saying? You ever play basketball at the rec? Play some old school players. They always try to do some little fake toss around, bro. No one's falling for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we can pull up the Cowboys roster and see how I need a wide receiver and running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we need an offensive lineman. So, I think it's going to be interesting to see how things shape out, man. But Angry, I'm going to put you on the spot, bro, before we get up out of here. Thanks, my dog. For you guys who haven't seen my dog Angry before, definitely subscribe to this channel. The Angry Cowboys fan does great content over there, man. So definitely go give him a follow, like, and subscribe. We're going to put you on the spot, bro. It's a 12 pick. Who will be the Dallas Cowboys pick at 12?
It's the 12th pick. I feel with the way it was put out in the media, how chummy it looked in the video, Matthew Golden at 12. How chummy him and Jerry Jones looked. It just it set with me at that point. I was like, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. I would like Mac. I still have a feeling that he's going to be the first wide receiver off the board. He's going to go before. I think it's going to be Matthew Golden. Texas bloodline, Coach Jerry, it's all there, and I would not be mad at it. But like I'm saying, y'all, if Mac is there, Golden is there, and they go with the Gray Zabel, expect bombs over Baghdad to go online, because we are snap as soon as I get back to the hotel, because it's not going to be pretty. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to go off the line, go for a better. I think Ty Booker is better than Gray Zabel, so you definitely have to go with better offensive linemen. Yo, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We've been rocking for 3 hours. I am live here at Green Bay on Radio Row. I'm about to go get some food over here and chill a little bit. Like I said, I will be posting content from interviews from all the draftees that are here in attendance. Hopefully, Angry, and hopefully, chat, I will get to interview the Dallas Cowboys' new acquisition when they draft them, right? I haven't gotten to do it yet. I'm saying 0 for 3, so let's not make it 0 for 4. So hopefully it's Golden or Mac or somebody that's in the building. Hampton's not here. Just kind of odd, but Hampton's not here. Burton's not here either. So you know what I'm saying? So it's got to be either Tyler Booker's here. So hopefully, that'll happen. So definitely follow for content. So I'll be posting those interviews. And then tomorrow I will be out live and about amongst the fan base, amongst this who's packed out there. You know what I'm saying? It's deep out there. So I'm out there tomorrow, probably hoodied and bundled up. But tonight I'm going to stay in here and stay warm. And then after the Cowboys pick, I'm going to head back to the hotel and we'll probably go live. And hopefully it's a pick that we all are excited about, man. So I want everyone to stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay encouraged, Cowboys Nation. Today is the day we finally go get our weapon. Let's bring it home. Peace.